on I-4 for those who need to travel by the major attractions areas this morning. Things are still looking good for anyone planning to travel on the Beach Line and the Greenway. No major delays to report right now for anyone traveling north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. Get to the good parts. Ryan Blaney fans, gear up at Advance Auto Parts. Get your exclusive Ryan Blaney hat and number 12 Advance Auto Parts Ford Mustang diecast cars. Race into an Advance Auto Parts near you for more details. Only at select locations and while supplies last.
Advance Auto Parts. Get to the good parts.
Hey, it's Ryan from the Monsters. If your house is looking a little meh, my guy Raphael at We Paint Everything will turn that meh.
Hello, friends. Take a seat. Move towards the middle so everybody can sit down. Gonna be a wild ride today. Happy Wednesday, right? Oh, it is Wednesday. Good. Happy Wednesday. What up, chat? Hello. A lot of early birders in here. We like that. Like to see that. It's good stuff. Stepha P. meeps a lot. Hello. Got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And a full house today. So looking forward to it. See you guys in a second.
And ethically exit their timeshares. I trust them.
By second, I mean 3 minutes.
And create a customized exit plan designed specifically for you. Please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066.
Are you all worked up and working too much? You know what y'all need? Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to have fun. Y'all need some adventure. Why? Y'all need Gatorland. How do we know? Ain't no one got more animals, more gators, or more fun than Gatorland. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less with $17.50 admission now through the end of August. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you looking for information on a reverse mortgage or HELOC? It's so easy to get a quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Hey, it's Russ Rollins from the Monsters in the Morning. A lot of people don't think about uninsured motorist coverage until it's too late, but Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt taught me that UM coverage protects you. Now, I'm not an attorney, but if Mo DeWitt says it's important, I know it is because he's speaking from experience. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Just call Mo.com.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry, wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
I'm Rebecca. I was injured in a car accident and hired one of the big TV law firms. They sent me to an injury clinic that I felt just wanted to make money off me. I needed an attorney and doctors who cared about me. I called attorney Glenn Klausman, and he helped me get the best doctors who really helped me. I was extremely pleased with my settlement. He also got me $10,000 for vet bills for my dog that was injured in the accident, and he did that for free. Call attorney Glenn Klausman at 407-917-1718. Glenn Klausman, Office, Winter Park.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com. Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from big fat election drama to Sophie Cunningham takes on her haters, and a shooting disrupts the new Tupac murder trial, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
Josh is with us.
Hey.
And so are you. You can join us with a dispatch today. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube or twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right to the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Good. Yeah. Good.
Good. Glad to have you guys here on board with us. Did everybody get the memo today, or what?
We synced up, boys.
What's
Let's
happening
do it.
here? We're all wearing black. We're all wearing black shirts today, as if we got some sort of memo, or as if I always say this, as if we're a team on supermarket sweep. That's what it feels like, you know.
Except when it's black, then we look like we're all techs at a theater production or just a concert or something. Like we look like we're gonna run on stage and wipe the beer that the rock star just spilled, or fix a guitar.
That sounds about right for us. Yeah, that adds up, I think. We've got many things to get into
I'm supposed
today.
to be the one spilling the beer.
Let's see what we got for you to start off here. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And here we go to the world of baseball, everybody. I love the monotonous, mundane small talk that goes down in the baseball world. And in this case, there was a bit of a miscommunication that caught my attention. So let's go to, was this, what game was this? Let me see if I can figure it out. Oh, this was the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies, everybody. Here we go.
One time, Larry said, is Larry a Flow Rider fan?
Okay, I don't even know where that came from, by the way.
Rider fan?
Yeah,
Flow Rider.
Flow Rider. Yeah, Flow Riders. They said one time Larry said, he's like, is Larry a Flow Rider fan? Don't know where that came from, but this is the kind of stuff they talk about during baseball games when they get a little boring here.
Time, Larry said, is Larry a Flow Rider fan? He's a DMX fan. Who? Ain't that bike racing?
Right there. Hold on. Let me go back. You guys stomped on it. He goes, he's a DMX fan.
Ain't that bike racing?
Ain't that bike racing?
Close.
Not a big DMX fan, I'm guessing, is what we're running into here. He goes, he's a big DMX fan. Ain't that bike racing? No, not exactly. That's not exactly what we're looking at. Tom McCarthy and John Kruk, the commentators there during this baseball game. Who won? I don't know. Maybe the audience, maybe everybody had a good time. Maybe it was an enjoyable ordeal.
I did see Flow Rider.
Later in the game, there was a moment where the poor ball boy got a ricochet right to the crotch. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if this happens that often, but it went right off the bat, bounced.
Knock it down.
Oof!
And I guess that's why they call him the ball boy.
Yeah, right. Doubles over. Oh, God. Just unbelievable. And I don't think they wear cups, right?
The ball boy?
No, not the
guess.
ball boy. No, I don't. I think the ball boys might be cup free. I think they might be the ones to do this.
How much of a baseball team wears athletic support? Like, you would want it if you're the catcher for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But can you run well with those? Like if you're a batter, obviously you don't want to get drilled in the nuts, but you also want to be able to run the bases pretty fast, and I would think that would be a little hindering, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know, but it sounds like that would be a bit of a problem. But I think you'll have to tell me, sports people, if this is correct. My experience was always that there was a lot of people who did not want to wear the cups. And it would be like, no, you got to wear your cups for the game, whether it's football, baseball, whatever. There was a lot of guys that were like, I'm not wearing the cup. I'm not doing that. I don't know if they thought they were too cool or what.
There's not a requirement in Major League Baseball to wear them. It's entirely a matter of personal preference. Let's see.
I would. That ball is flying around at 100+ miles per hour.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, just because you're scared, little baby.
Yes, I am scared. Yeah,
real men get hit.
I mean, I am fine not being a real man. I'm fine with not being a real man if that's what it comes down to. I knew I'd face this at some point in my life.
Here first.
Yeah, I just didn't know this would be the moment. A big election last night. I hope your person won or lost or I don't know, whatever you were looking for. In the state of Florida, for you Floridians listening today, there was a big primary. It's got the whole country, everybody all over the place talking about the Florida elections and the takeaways. And all I was wondering was, did the big fishback expose win for him? Did it launch him to the forefront of the governor's race here to replace Florida Governor Ron DeSantis? So let's check in. Did Fishback win? No, he did not. No. Fishback was bested by Republican Representative Byron Donalds, who won the nomination to be the candidate for the Republican Party in the election. Also could be the state's first black governor, and et cetera, et cetera. You know, they always do that thing.
But we're not going to get
This
guy.
government whistleblower who approached my campaign has confirmed that this investigation has now expanded to include U.S. Congressman Byron Donalds.
Oh, how did that work out for you, buddy?
Yeah, so dramatic. I don't even think it was close, man. I think he got smacked pretty good. So I guess people weren't into the
fishback
guy.
out of fish smack.
Yeah, sure. Who's not saying it that way this morning? Can we vote him off our team black, Josh?
Yeah, change your shirt, buddy.
Yeah, can we somehow vote him off? You're gonna have to. Yeah, your skins. Your skins were shirts for the rest of the show.
I used to love being skins, and then food,
and then it gets all of us eventually. Meanwhile,
Josh, how many dang hats do you have?
2.
Every color. Every color. His hat says dang every day, every different color.
You wore one yesterday, and I was like, that doesn't seem like the same dang hat I'm used to. And I just noticed he's wearing another one today. It's a different dang hat.
This might be a little confusing to people. The hat says dang on it, all right? Sealand's not just talking like some country
dang
bumpkin.
hats.
He's specifically referring to
Sealand does not
the
know
hat.
where to emphasize his syllables. It's very weird.
Here is the other big result. People were talking about Angie Nixon, who I think is a Democratic Socialist candidate, I believe. And she won 56% to 43.9% over the moderate Democrat Alex Vindman. So that's a big talking point today. The other end of that spectrum where people are like, the Democratic Socialist lady, Angie Nixon, won. She has radical policies and she won the primary. Well, she is, and this is just the beginning of the action here, but she is really far behind on any kind of general election polls. Like, it does not look great for her in the general election here. But she did win. This woman, Angie Nixon, is getting a lot of headlines today. She'll face Ashley Moody to replace Senate our Secretary of State Marco Rubio's former Senate spot.
Wow.
Which is strangely enough. Hold on. Wait. Moody was appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis after Rubio stepped down. Okay, so when Rubio went to the White House,
yes,
DeSantis gets to appoint a new senator, and over we go. So, yeah, there you go. You got Byron Donalds, or did I say his name wrong?
Donalds.
Byron Donalds, who's going to be the guy running for the governor of the state of Florida. We'll see if he'll win. He's going to face David Jolly, David Jolly has been on a journey. David Jolly was a Republican, and then he announced that he was an independent, and then he announced that he was a Democrat. So this man has made some changes in his life. It's a lot of different changes there, but that showdown will happen. It will be happening before too long.
Did you see the big upset?
No, what was the big one?
Antonio Pizza did not.
No, pizza.
Oh,
didn't.
no pizza.
No pizza for school board.
We interviewed Antonio Pizza, who was running for school board, and he was a kid, basically. 19 years old, and he seemed so nice, and he was really like trying to win his election. What was the results, Josh? Do you have them?
His opponent, Christine Krause, won with 67.97% of the vote. He got 32%, though, which is pretty good for a first time.
Not bad, not the worst.
I thought we'd be kingmakers with Antonio Pizza.
I know. We need to work on it a little bit. Yeah, we start
Next
with
time.
Antonio Pizza. He does, underperforms a little bit. And then next thing you know, we build from there. We will be kingmakers soon. Good thing we didn't pick Fishback. You guys a little crazy, but yeah. Let's see. Here's Byron Donalds after his win. This is the guy who won the Republican nomination.
Affordable Florida starts with a limited government that respects hardworking taxpayers who fund it. Under my watch, every contract, every budget, and every fee this state spends will be posted online, out in the open, where you can see it.
We don't already do that?
No. We are going to continue the Department of Government Efficiency that was started here in Florida under
Doge.
Governor DeSantis. As your governor, we are going to doge all local governments and all state agencies.
We're just going to doge everybody.
There will
Is doge a verb now? I didn't know that.
I think he just coined it as a verb.
We're going to doge everything.
You're going to get doged. You're getting doged. We're going to doge you real hard. You deserve a good doging.
I love when they bring up something like the first part where he's like, we're going to put all government expenditures online so anybody can see them and search them. And you're like, wait, hold. We weren't already doing that thing?
Absolutely not. No. They got to have the newspapers like file lawsuits and Freedom of Information Act requests to find out how much we're paying duty calls or whatever the name of that stupid porta potty company was.
Millions, right?
That charged us like $94 million for Alligator Alcatraz, which is now RIP.
Oh, God.
What a waste.
Just brutal.
Waste.
Just brutal. Let's see what else he says.
there will be no sacred cows.
Hate cows.
What?
I'm on board.
Taxpayers deserve to know that their hard-earned dollars are being spent efficiently, transparently, and with total integrity.
All right, there he goes. That's him doing his thing. Get to know these people a little bit more. For those of you not in the state of Florida, well, just bear with me. We'll get to you and your stuff here in just a moment. The other lady, Angie Nixon, let's just see what she says to even things out and show both sides of the coin.
And we show the world what people of Florida are all about. Medicare for all. Universal child care. Real affordable housing. Fully funded public education.
We're not fully funded yet?
And an end to senseless wars.
Yeah. What? 9/11.
Hundreds of thousands of Floridians who stood up because they believed in the vision of a better Florida.
Okay, there she is. I will say they're still using the microphone condoms from COVID at this particular thing.
Yeah.
Got the little during COVID, all of a sudden it became a thing that you would put these little condoms on your microphones so as not to get the disease or whatever.
Maybe they figured out after kind of using those for COVID that they were like, well, this is an actual improvement on our experience. It's not covered in spittle. After these people make these impassioned speeches at the except for James Fishback at their press conferences. And they're like, oh, it actually kind of worked out for us having these little mic rubbers.
I hate those things.
Microphone Jimmy hats.
It's just as disgusting as the names you're giving it right now. It's just that disgusting. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have so many things to dive into and sort through today. A lot of good drama on board here. Some great clips. We'll get to your emails in just a bit here. We'll see what you think about everything going on in the world, what you think the big story is important along the way. And all of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Being guaranteed Guaranteed human on Real Radio means sharing what's on your mind. So say what's on your mind. If in fact you are human. Send us a message through the TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app and join the conversation.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Looking at some heavy traffic right now eastbound on I-4 for those who need to travel by the major attractions areas this morning. Things are still looking good for anyone planning to travel on the beach line and the Greenway. No major delays to report right now for anyone traveling north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. They have been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, most of them installed in less than 8 weeks. And you can win some for free. So get out your phone.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome on a Wednesday. Welcome behind the scenes. Stand by just 1 second, folks. While I'm getting something ready, why don't you do me a favor? Tell me what you think is the most important, biggest, most interesting story of the day. I want to make sure we're representing what you're interested in. So this is how I try to start out here on the show. Working on a quick fix while that's going on. But tell me what you, in a couple of words, tell me what you think is the big story of the day. Universal child care, just bring the down? I shouldn't be paying their mortgage every month. $1,200 a month is stupid. Just bring the price down. Childcare is expensive. Having kids is costly. It's an expensive ordeal. My favorite story is of the pizza wrestler. Who, Luigi? You mean Luigi? I've been following that guy for a long time. I found him on Instagram years ago, and now he's turned his weird Instagram videos into some sort of wrestling career. I assume that's who you're talking about. Let me know if I got it wrong. I'm working on a fix for the YouTube situation. Celine, did your chat come back? So you still have to refresh? That thing didn't fix? Okay. All right. Mega Chat is missing YouTube, but don't worry. That will not be for long. I'm working on that right now. No YouTube and Mega Chat is not the story of the day. We're not going to get triggered by it. We're not going to freak out. In fact, we're just going to say, YouTube, feel free to express yourself. We will bring you into Mega Chat momentarily. Folks, if you're new around here, welcome into the show every single day for 4 hours a day. All the drama, all the viral news, everything that everybody's talking about right here on the channel. If you're into anything that you watch today, if you have a good time, if you get a laugh, if it distracts you and gets you through your day, hit that like button. Please subscribe. It's important to the future of the show, and I appreciate your support, okay? My story, public toilets are going to make you watch ads to get access to toilet paper. That is the worst idea I've ever heard of in my life. Thoughts, everybody? What do we think about that? Would you watch an ad to get, what if they gave you, here's the question for you. We'll get into all the stuff that's going on in the world in a second. Here's the question for you. If you were in a bathroom stall and you could either get that crappy, sort of almost construction paper-esque, really cheap toilet paper, no ads, no nothing, you just pull it off the roll, get whatever you need, or like a Cottonelle multiply soft toilet paper, but you have to look at a screen and watch a 30-second ad. Which one? cheap TP, no ad, or watch the ad and get the good stuff? Where's that coming from? I don't know. I think it's my computer. It's me. Don't worry about it. It's some testing I got going on. Okay, folks, we're coming back in 1 minute. Stand by. Alex Jones ads are ruining my feeds. Where are you seeing Alex Jones ads? Okay, not getting triggered, not getting distracted, fixing this in the background. Stand by, everybody. We're coming back live.
Double predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook. Predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Last place in your fantasy league isn't just about losing. It's the group chat jokes, the punishment, a full year of hearing about it. I'm JJ Zacharyson, host of the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast. Our players to target and players to avoid episodes tell you exactly who to circle and who to cross off. We're providing data-driven research in the podcast all season long so that you're the one talking trash, not taking it. Download the free iHeartRadio app, search the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast, and listen now.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
High diving, face first into the world's most viral newsroom. This is
Learn more about the show. It's called The News Junkie, by the way, and you can learn all about everything happening here every day and get anything you miss over on the website. The podcast links are right there for you, in fact, at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, a couple of things I want to work in here. We'll get to your emails. We got your dispatches. Reminder, our challenge for the week, our dispatch challenge, is Rate My Embarrassing Story. And we really started to get some traction yesterday on this. I think we got a couple of good ones. We had the lady who puked in the cash drawer.
Oh, that was so funny.
Fantastic. Well, there's been a bunch of good ones, and all you have to do, you've already gone through the embarrassment, so this is not going to add any more to you. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com or fire up the News Junkie app and send us a dispatch of your story, and you could win a great prize. So we'll get to more of them, and we'll get to your reactions, of course, as we move on in the show today. You could also email tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Here's a crazy one coming in. Anonymous emails the show, and it said, "Hello, Sean. My friend just sent me a text message. In the text message was a link to an article, and it's about a man getting charged. And the person is my friend's dad. Wondering if you heard anything about it. Love the show. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop." And the story that I have here says, man charged with 6 felonies involving children. And that, like, the girl sent her friend a text message of a news story about her dad getting busted for child sex crimes, which is just, wow. What do you even say? How do you respond to that when somebody texts you something like that? That's so weird.
I don't know how many people I would be texting that.
I wouldn't be texting many, I don't think. William King is the guy's
Thanksgiving's
name.
canceled this year.
I guess so. The charges stem from conduct
we're going to have
dating
to get rid of
from
that one table.
2020 and 2022, and it's all sorts of like statutory sexual offense charges.
Josh just figured it out.
Obscenity charges, the kids table. The sixth charge alleges he intentionally disseminated obscenity by providing a juvenile with an obscene film depicting a sex act. So like sending content to a young person and getting involved with them. And then your friend texts you that about their father after they got arrested. What does one even do with that? Very, very strange. But thank you for the email. Much appreciated. I have to get into this great This Week in Nicknames segment, but I'm gonna hold that for just a bit because I want to get to a few more of your comments. Kaylee emails the show. And Kaylee was the one who responded about being a homeschooled kid, but then said she was like disappointing now because she is only a tattoo artist. And we were like, well, I think we were all like, hey, tattoo artists are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
C-Lane was talking about how difficult it is to actually get to be a tattoo artist.
It's a lot of work to put in before, and it makes sense. Like, it's tough to find somebody to agree to be the first piece of real human skin that you tattoo because you've never done it before. I mean, they do a lot of fake skin and like I think even pig skin when you're doing your tattoo apprenticeship. But, you know, it's a big commitment for doing something like that for the first time.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. It's a cool job. I dig it. I like what you have going on. But she says she wanted to respond with some more information. So let me read that here. And again, you can email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to be anonymous, just like that last emailer, for plenty of reason. If you'd like to be anonymous, all you have to do is put that right up on top of your email. This is the same person, Kaylee, who says, I was catching up with the show yesterday, and I heard you talking about my homeschool email. She said, my GPA went down at Rollins. I made fun of her for that because I got an A- in one class and a B+ in the other. How pathetic, Kaylee.
Not only did you make fun of her, but you just reinforced the fact that you did. You just like patted yourself on the back for drilling her on her GPA.
Yeah, I was right about that part. She said I got a B+ in another. It was absolutely devastating to me at the time. I might have actually graduated with a 3.93, but in the end, I can't remember how because I'm a total failure. Stop being so hard on yourself. Tattooing is extremely difficult to get into, much harder than any of the colleges. It's better now, but it used to be full of a bunch of gatekeeping old men, and it's still very old school, she says. To answer C-Lane's question, there's no degree for tattooing. Traditionally, if you could find somebody to teach you, you would get an apprenticeship where you would work for the artist in the shop for free in exchange for learning the craft. And you hope that they treat you well and don't abuse you or prey on you. It sounds kind of like tattooing is a little bit copy-paste from like cooking and kitchens and working with a chef. Club. Yeah, a boys club aggression. Like it's not a very sensitive environment for good or for bad. So she says that's how this tends to work out. Most of the old school guys didn't go to art school. Some people started out as what they call scratchers, she says. Unfortunately, there are tattoo schools popping up more and more these days, but they're predatory institutions. People pay way too much money to learn how to tattoo with promises that they will learn the art, sanitary procedures, and business side. But they may not learn anything at all. And who will hire these people? Oh, I feel you. Oh, boy, do I feel you, okay? Here's how I feel you, Kaylee.
Oh, yeah, because Sean went to radio school.
Radio school is the
Here's
same.
where we learn more about Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Go CSB.
Yeah, radio school is exactly the same, my friend. All right? I think it's exactly the same because at radio school, you don't get any actual experience, and then nobody wants to pay you afterwards. So you have to grind out there. So I feel you. I also saw there is one technical or trade school college somewhere that's trying to do a TAT 101, and it makes me want to die inside. We all laugh at it, she says. Thanks for sharing my perspective on homeschooling. I enjoyed the show. I've been a listener for about 12 years, Kalia. Thank you for that. This is somebody sending over an email. I think C-Lane spotted this too, but we might as well mention it since we did talk around this story on the show. Somebody says, did you see that this company admitted that they faked an election poll? And I did. I saw this. There was some company, I think it was the company that had Karen Bass up by like 23 points in the LA mayor race. And then she kind of barely squeaked out a win. And it had also, I think, the Wisconsin race incredibly close.
The one that Josh sent us this week was about how it was the company that had Francesca Hong like winning by a lot, and it didn't happen at all, and then they folded.
Yeah, they did both. They did both of those polls.
They're
the same
just
company,
making stuff up.
And here's what they released. Thank you to the person who emailed this in, Chad. They released this note that is a lot of people in the industry talking. And it says, Median Strategies polling discontinued. Median Strategies has concluded its polling project. Remember, this is after they were like 20 points off on one of these weird failed political polls. We've concluded our polling project and will not publish additional polls. All previously published polling releases have been withdrawn.
Good alliteration.
And should not be cited or treated as genuine polling data. So they're withdrawing all of their previous polls. Median Strategies was created as a short-term, social experiment examining how purported polling information could enter and spread through the political information ecosystem without independent verification. Thank you for understanding. So they're like, this was a social experiment to put out fake polling numbers, and I don't even know what to make of that.
That's what everyone says when they get caught doing something they shouldn't do. It's a social experiment, bro.
Here's my question, though. Is that illegal? I mean, all you did was publish fake information. Is that fraud?
Excellent question.
You would have to be able to prove damages, but who were they damaging?
Excellent question. Right here is our answer. This was published in, where was this from? The Los Angeles Times. And they said, a bogus opinion poll showing Mayor Karen Bass with a wide lead over the city council member Nathia Raymond in the LA mayor's race fooled some people, including the mayor herself, apparently. But were there any laws broken? They looked into this, talking about it. If the fake poll was truly a social experiment meant to test the poll literacy of media outlets, there would be nothing to prosecute. But if the goal was to affect markets, i.e. Kalshi, Polymarket, like people betting on this, then we got a real situation on our hands. And it's also, I'm not saying probable or whatever, I'm saying it's possible. It's also possible that this is a cover-up for doing exactly that. So let me explain very briefly, and we'll move on to some of the sexier stories of the day, I promise. But in a story like this, here's what you pull from this. The company comes out and goes, our polling was all a big experiment that we wanted to get everybody on the hook for to show you how dumb the media was. But there's no real joke, or there's nothing going on. They built a website that looked like a real poll. They released the same kind of polling data that any polling firm would release. They did everything like they were doing polls. They were just faking the polls. How is any media outlet supposed to determine anything more than that? Are they supposed to watch you making the calls to the people on your polling panel? That doesn't make any sense.
How do you independently verify what somebody, without... even if they just release their records, they could fake all those.
Yeah, they could. I would think so.
I think they did.
However, what if somebody was going to bet like $1 million on one of these elections for Kalshi? You release a fake poll that says the person's up 20, 30 points. The betting markets shift dramatically because of that poll. They take that to be true. And then you make a bunch of money. And then afterwards, you're like, well, guess what? Here's what was really going on. We were just doing an experiment, a social experiment there. I don't know what was happening, but that is an interesting story, and I'm sure they'll be investigating what exactly happened there. And finally, M emails the show and says, Sean, About your AC temperature conundrum. I get it. I, too, like even numbers only on my air conditioner. It has to be around 68 or 72 degrees for me at night. If bills weren't a thing, I would keep my house at 64 degrees, this lunatic says. The problem is my AC won't kick on until the sensor reads a full degree above my set temperature. So in order to get to my comfort level, I must set the temperature to 71 degrees, and I have to stare at this, and it pains me, he says. Difficult times. I'm sorry that you're going through that, sir. Very, very tough times. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get to some of the juicier stuff going on today. I got more flock news that is going to shock you. The shocking flock news is on the way. The This Week in Nicknames segment is on the way. Do not miss out on that. Trust me on these stories and a whole bunch more. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is The Jim Colbert Show. Real talk, fake maturity. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Happy Wednesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting another steamy day. We'll see highs well into the mid-90s with a high of around 96 today in Orlando.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show.
This report is sponsored by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Buzzed, drunk, impaired.
Trying not to get triggered. I did this to myself. I'll tell you what I did. I wanted to add a simple form to my daily printout where I could write a couple of lines of notes, i.e. my notes here, and I screwed something up in the process, and now I'm paying for it. What an absolute maroon. What a fool. But I'll fix it. I'll fix it here momentarily. How many of you voted yesterday? Just to get an idea here. Let me know. Yes or no over in chat. Did you vote? Were you actually voting in the primaries? Yes? Yes, you outed my fishback support. That's true. I remember that. I'm sorry that your guy didn't win. Tough times. I got some mailbox money coming up for you in just a second here. Also, RIP to a celebrity. I'll tell you about this in just a moment. RIP, friends and music fans, to Frank Beard, the drummer of the Boogie Rock Trio. That's what they call him. The Boogie Rock Trio, ZZ Top, dies at 77 years old. ZZ Top, famous for Sharp Dressed Man, Give Me All Your Lovin' and Legs and More, died in a hospice in Richmond, Texas. Strangely enough, Frank Beard was the only member of ZZ Top without a beard. ZZ Top, unbelievable. R.I.P. to Mr. Frank Beard. Can't believe this could happen to somebody like him. Unbelievable. Now, I have a question for you. I saw a very large fight online about something that we discussed at the beginning of the show. And that is the world of tattoos and this tattoo artist who emailed the show. And I've forgotten that there's some level of controversy and that there are people against this. But there are people who legitimately still outwardly detest tattoos. Won't date somebody with a tattoo. Think tattoo shops should be banned, which is crazy as hell. I love the idea when you don't like something, you want it to be banned for everybody else that does. It's like such a weird idea, such a weird way to view the world. But there is a lot of people, especially in like little online sectors, who are anti-tattoo. I don't get it. Some of it's religious. Avendisora points out you're not allowed to be buried in a Jewish cemetery if you have piercings or tattoos. I've heard that, but haven't they changed that more recently? Didn't they make some changes to that? I don't know if that's the case or not. One minute and we're back live, everybody. I got some mailbox money. Let's see if it's going to get you a little more wealthy. Stand by. Details coming up in just a moment.
The web at LoneStarTransfer.com.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
Have you heard? Quantum Fiber from AT&T is offering a great deal on fast fiber internet. $55 a month for speed up to 1 gig. Find out more at QuantumFiber.com. Seriously, grab this special deal now. Limited availability in select areas.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
Is where you need to be. Forget the same 3 songs over and over and over again. Come hang out with us in the world's most viral newsroom and learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. I got some mailbox money for some of you here.
Ooh.
Potentially a bunch of you. And this comes on a brutal day for me because I just looked up before the show and I saw an email coming in and it said, hey, your car insurance is due. And I go, oh, God. So you got to send like I think it was $1,400 payment before the show. It's just a brutal start to the day. Just firing off $1,400 at some company for insurance or something.
Is that because you do 6 months at a time?
Yeah, I try to pay it like half a year at a time.
I think like it's better financially, right? If you do 6 months at a time, like you get a better deal.
You get like $100 off or something, I think, somewhere around there. I have Progressive, so unfortunately, I'm not getting this mailbox money. But if you don't have Progressive, I'll explain to you what's going on in just a second here. But yeah, to wake up and see that and go, these damn insurance companies, they juice all of our money out of us. It gets more and more and more expensive. I hear from people all the time that the best thing you got to do, Sean, is each year take a little bit of your time and go find a new quote for car insurance because they'll start you out with really cheap car insurance. And then over the years, they start charging you more and more and more and more and more, which makes no sense to me. I feel like the longer I'm with you and the less accidents I've had, the less I should pay.
Not a thing at all. In fact, I recently I went through this with my mother because she was asking about car insurance. And I was like, well, what do you pay for car insurance? And then she answered. And then I removed my jaw from the floor, and I was like, "We need to get you under a new plan. You can't be paying this much a month. It's ridiculous." And signed her up for a different service. We answered all the questions on there, and it was way less than she was paying before. And it's just something that it helps to do all the time. So, some people have, like, we have an insurance guy, like an insurance broker or something.
Like a human being, like an actual person?
We do.
I do too.
And I never had that before. That was something that Ashley got us into.
I have an app. I don't have a person.
No,
I have an
would.
application.
It's always something I've done online ever since I got off my parents' insurance, as like a 20-something-year-old, and then, had to pay for my own and do my own thing. And so I've been just going online and taking care of that online. And then she got us with this guy. And I'm like, well, when you have the guy, if they still do that insurance thing that you're talking about where, every couple of years they're upping you and and you have to shop around. I'm like, do I bring the quote from the other company back to the guy now? Be like, hey, listen, Mr. Progressive, Geico is offering me this. What are you going to do about it?
My problem is, and I think you can do that. I think they will respond to that. You guys could tell us if you've gotten away with this before, because it's like one of our bigger expenses. We don't talk about this enough. We all pay for car insurance. It's expensive as hell. And again, I'll get to the mailbox money that some of you are going to get in just a bit. But I know that I've tried this before, and I'll use those websites. All the websites you see where you can search all of the insurance companies at once, and then you just end up getting 4 billion spam texts for the rest of your life after you put your information in.
Yes.
Wasn't that what Progressive was like originally started their whole deal on, which was like, we'll not only save you more than the other companies, but we'll tell you if one of the other companies is cheaper than us.
I think so, but now they must have purchased all of these other these websites where you search for the best deals, because every time I do it, it just tells me the same company I'm already with. And then when I call Progressive, they're like, "Nah, you already got the best deal." I'm going, "You're making it impossible for me to bargain shop here." It's like Progressive owns the research companies, and then when I research to try to find other stuff, or then I go with State Farm. I try to go with State Farm, but State Farm wants me to get on the phone with an actual person, like C-Lane was talking about. But I don't have time for this nonsense.
Wait, you don't just like sing a jingle into the air and Ludacris shows up?
That would be handy. It doesn't quite work that way. But if you do have State Farm, I've got some money for you potentially. If you had State Farm auto insurance at any point in the last year, you may soon be getting a dividend payment for 2025. The State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance Company announced that they are doing a one-time cashback dividend payment that will be sent out to qualifying customers. Their earnings were stronger than they expected it to be for 2025, so you can get some money. Now, here's the deal. Your dividend amount could be up to $100 per qualifying vehicle. So if you had State Farm for the last year, you could get up to $100 per vehicle if you are interested. I'll put the links for how to do this up on See It Now at some point during the show today.
I don't think I've ever had State Farm.
My dad did. It seems like a dad auto insurance company to me. That's what I always get hit with. It's like
I never got that from them. It was just like, you have all these options. I think advertising is key here, because you don't really, as a layperson, know the difference between. Most people don't even know what the hell they're signing up for when they sign up for insurance. Like as much as you want to just scroll through the website and hover over every little I with a circle around it that's going to try and explain in a small paragraph to you what this option is versus what this option is. You're done with it, and you're just like. Some people just play the game.
I do.
Like when you do your taxes. Play the game so that the number goes in a direction you want it to go.
Hold on. Let's not admit that we're playing that game, just for the record. None of us are playing that game. Some people, C-Lane said. IRS, all right? We don't need your meddling over here in our lives. We are by the book. We do things the right way.
Yep. All of my money is reported.
But on my insurance, C-Lane, 100% I've done that. I'm like, do I need whatever this thing is? XRT 45 coverage? I have no idea what the hell any of this means. So many of you seem like you're doing better than me on this. I don't know how. I have Progressive, and my rate just went down $29. It's $836 for 6 months. What the hell? Could you do me a favor then? I think this is not too much to ask. I wanna toss this out there. If you listen to this show every day and you get enjoyment out of it, I don't think this is too much to ask. Can you please put me on your car insurance? Add me as a driver on your car insurance, and then this will solve this problem for me. There we go. We figured it out. I think it was easy to do. But State Farm insurance customers, you can look this up, and there's some money coming to you, about $100 or more possibly per car that you have with the State Farm company. Okay, a bunch of dispatches coming in and some of the embarrassing stories that folks are talking about. But Daddy Two Times has some advice. I think he's right about this, just glancing at it, because this is sort of what's happening to me a whole bunch. But here's Daddy Two Times.
So complacency is the enemy of progress. That means any of your bills that you have that you're just, oh, I'm cool with this, I'm good paying this, I love this company, is something that you need to shop annually. Auto insurance, cell phone, cable, internet, whatever it is, you should shop that annually. That being said, when it comes to auto insurance, don't use one of those search sites, Sean. All they do is take your data and basically sell it off to all these other companies.
That's what's happening.
Go directly to the handful of big companies in Florida. Go to your State Farm, go to your Geico, your Progressive, your Liberty Mutual, your Allstate, right? Go to their sites directly. Do not use the search sites. Anybody.
All right, good advice, because it has messed me up. Well, it's the opposite of what I used to do, though, Daddy Two Times. I used to go through the yellow pages and find the cheapest, crappiest sounding auto insurance company, and that would always be the one that was the cheapest for me.
Tell us more
every
about
time.
the phone book, Grandpa.
I would open up the yellow pages, as they called them at the time, Sealand, and I'd go, I remember one time I opened them up, and I'm like, Allstate, too expensive, just pass. State Farm, pass on by. All the big name brands. And then I saw something, I go, here we go.
Steve's Insurance.
Gorilla Insurance. Don't mind if I do. You go to the company, they've got a big inflatable gorilla mascot outside. I say, how much for PIP? $35 a month, Sean. Good, great. I don't care.
This sounds kind of like looking for the worst company. Reminds me of John Mulaney's bit about finding doctors who will write you prescriptions by just find the list of all the doctors and sort them by rating, and then scroll to the bottom. The ones that just have the most dumpster fire of a rating as a doctor, and then that would just beg for your business, and they're the ones that'll write you the prescriptions for the good stuff, no questions asked.
I think that's a good idea too. Wait for people who have that issue, but for the overall. Insurance
what is
issue.
You addicted to drugs?
Yes. Yeah, our audience is a variety of people.
It's okay if you like some pills here and there.
There's a variety of different people listening to this show, so we want to give them all the best advice we can. The Stepafee says, Sean, the best I could do is add you to my Christmas card list. I'll take it.
That's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, I'll take it. I am a safe driver, though. I do want to say. The only thing I won't do is when they ask me, they go, and Courtney fell for this because she's such a sucker. They do the thing where they say, if you just enable the safe driver tracking feature on our insurance app, then we'll give you a discount. And Courtney's like, oh, yeah, of course I did that. And I go, why? So they can track everywhere you go and track the speed you're driving and track if you hit your brakes too hard, or to do what? You don't think they're going to use that if you start driving poorly to increase your insurance cost? Hell yeah, that's probably why my insurance was so expensive today when I paid that. It was probably because of that.
Courtney's speed racer?
Oh, my God, man. It's not speeding that she does in her car when she's driving around that gets me, C-Lane. It's actually she drives too close to the lines. And I'm on the passenger side. I feel like she's trying to just smash me into another vehicle half the time. She's way off to the right, and I'm sure the app sees that, which is why it's $8 billion to insure all of this stuff. Anyhow, I'm done complaining, believe it or not. When we come back, we're going to get into a lot of your dispatches. I should do one of the embarrassing story ones just to get one on the board here for today. We could do that real quick, right? We got enough time? Just one?
Sure.
Fast.
Quick, fast.
Here's
Don't
Rich
pick the biggest paragraph.
Here's Rich with his Rate My Blank.
All right, here's my embarrassing story. A few years ago, I was working for FedEx. Extremely hot outside, obviously. It was my first Saturday working alone. Those trucks don't have air conditioning. So I pushed myself, built up a big thirst. So as soon as I got done with one of my stops, I went to the next store that I could go to get something to drink. I went inside, started looking at the fountain drinks, saw a Mountain Dew. Hadn't had a Mountain Dew in years.
Okay.
So I got the largest one I could get, got out to my truck, chugged that thing down. I'm cruising down the road, get stopped at a red light. All of a sudden I feel this gurgling in my stomach, and then just like a rainbow of yellow neon shoots out of my mouth outside the door.
Gross.
And as I lift my head up, I look to the car next to me that has a pretty good vision of me directly on, and they're just looking at me mortified and horrified of what just
their
happened.
phone wasn't in the air.
That's
yeah,
all.
true. Yeah, in 2026 here, you end up with somebody filming that, and you get a little bit of viral love. But all of us have had a moment like that, I'm sure, at some point in time.
I wonder how easy it is if you're like a Tesla driver where there's cameras constantly rolling and ready to save video if you get into some sort of traffic incident.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit like, hey, save all the video right now. That guy over there just puked everywhere.
Probably. Tesla owners, one though, they can hit us up with your dispatches or emails. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into these ridiculous stories that I've captured here. In This Week in Nicknames, we've got more on the election results and some of the drama around that. This Clancy thing gets even crazier. We've got a lot to talk about, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's never been easy.
Hello, hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. By the way, thank you to Brad the Realtor. Thank you for the gifted sub. Hang on, let me make sure I got your name. Brad Wallace Realtor. Thank you, Brad Wallace Realtor. All right, I'm hoping, I think it looks like YouTube made some sort of change. Folks, it looks like YouTube made some sort of change, which is affecting Mega Chat, but I will fix that in the next little bit here. Just called my State Farm agent, explained that all their customers are actually part owners of the company. The company did so good, they're sharing the wealth with us. What a story. My take, they charged everybody too much to begin with. Yeah, it's that's pretty interesting. Like, the customers kind of own the company of State Farm, and when they do a stock dividend, the customers get money back. Kind of a brilliant arrangement, right? I mean, I'm thinking that this is almost going to require me to move over to State Farm. I think it really is. All right, let me double check here. See if we've got any movement on our Mega Chat fix. Still working. Let me do a test here. Okay. All right, it's still sorting it out. These stories coming up next are fantastic. We got a new Sophie Cunningham update. She's firing back at some fans who booed her at a game. She's got a really interesting, I think, response to all of this. I have way too many things going on any given day, and it's very frustrating. Thank you, Jan Pin, for the 4 gifted subs. You're getting me through, baby. You're getting me through. BDM says, Progressive gave me back almost $900 last year. How is everybody else getting such a great deal with Progressive except for me? Thank you, Tom, for the gifted subscription. Look at you guys go. Just a reminder, if you missed the stream yesterday, you can get a gift for subscribing to Secret Shows. Claim a reward like this. Here's one of the Game of Magnets magnets. The OG magnet is back. There's a ton of these up there. They're replacing the random magnet for a bit. The OG magnet. Get your hands on yours by subscribing to a premium subscription on the website. That unlocks a lot of stuff. Thanks to Myatt for the gifted subscriptions over on Twitch as well. A premium subscription on thenewsjunkie.com unlocks the ad-free stream and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty great, actually. All right, we're back in 90 seconds, everybody. This is taking forever, and it's irritating the hell out of me. I've been assured it was not my fault, actually.
What do you want to do here for weekends?
Yeah, we could do something here. Let's do a 12. Sorry, I have like sideways, but let's do a 12 here. We'll get back on track. Here we go.
Spend $5,000 on her jewelry and sail away on a 3 or 4 night luxury cruise for 2, or choose a 7-night condo resort stay. Go all in at $10,000 and enjoy a 5-day, 4-night stay at an upscale, tropical, all-inclusive resort in one of 4 breathtaking countries. At IDC, you buy the jewelry, we give you the getaway. Hurry, this limited time offer won't last. Get all the details and restrictions at shopidc.com. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
Together, let's have some fun. Big thanks to J Squared. Thank you, J Squared, for the gifted premium subscription over on thenewsjunkie.com. Appreciate all that support today. Learn more about the show over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. You know I love a news story where somebody has a great nickname. You know I love it. You know it drives me. You know I wake up and I see some of these viral stories and I go,
we talking barefoot bandit kind of stuff.
Love it.
The Swiss cheese masturbator, although I don't know if we came up with that or if somebody else did.
That was a long time ago, C-Lane, so I barely recall that. But I do love this. This kid from Penn State was busted as part of this huge drug organization and a giant cocaine ring at Penn State. Nice. And they were calling him Pablo Pledgeskabar, which is so great. And like, this was a big deal. I mean, this was a lucrative drug ring out of Penn State University, out of this frat house. There was people in the college, like people who worked for the college, who also were involved in this. Pledges were forced to cut and package cocaine as part of their indoctrination, and they had to refer. They had to refer to the kingpin of all of this as Pablo Pledgeskabar. So imagine you're going to try to be part of a fraternity, and you go to pledge, and you show up, and then all of a sudden you're like, I ended up in a drug ring.
Is it like in the movies where they have all the women in their underwear cutting the cocaine, but with dudes?
Yeah, yes, with all dudes, with all guys.
Lame.
This unbelievable, this whole story, and it's developing out of the University of Penn State. And that's where this whole frat, I guess, got busted. He turned himself in. He was denied bail. Let me see here. I want to bring up another story on this because some of the details were pretty crazy. Here's the one I was looking at. They said, top of the chain, alleged leader behind Penn State cocaine trafficking ring surrenders to the cops. He just looks like a kid or something.
Yeah.
He's young as hell. It says they were in a spacious $1.4 million frat mansion where all this went down. He's been facing charges of possession with intent to deliver and conspiracy.
I don't think $1.4 million is enough for a frat mansion.
Depends on where it is, I guess. I would imagine by Penn State they'd be more expensive. You're right. I would
for
have
a
thought
frat house that's going to house multiple students, like the entire fraternity. I mean, I've only been to one frat house in my life, and 1.4 million doesn't sound like enough. I don't know why.
They have former students who were involved in running the thing. The Pennsylvania Attorney General's office said 2 other members of the fraternities have been charged with dealing in the proceeds of unlawful activity as well. And it was just like a huge drug ring that all of these people were a part of, including the Pablo Plechkabar kid, which is just top notch.
If you are a low man on the totem pole, like you said, they were forcing pledges to process the cocaine, cut the cocaine, whatever. Could you legally get out of that because you were being forced to do it?
Maybe. That's a good Mo question. We say hey, I wanted to ensure my collegiate success, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't socially ostracized. I was told that this is just the way it went. I know ignorance of the law is not an excuse necessarily, C-Lane, but
well, also, I mean, you could be
worth a try.
At some point, you could be fearing retaliation if these guys have this. The bigger the cocaine ring, the more involvement in people that are willing to commit other crimes to keep their business safe.
Right.
To keep their business from having
right?
any trouble. We don't want any trouble. And by the way, if I'm pledging this fraternity and you're making me cut coke, there better be none of this slapping me on the ass, hazing. No, nothing,
drinking.
No, I mean, no, none of that crazy. Drinking. None of the crazy stuff that they make the pledges do. There better be none of that crap. Because
no
I could be
butt funnels.
I'm not butt funneling nothing. Not again.
Not when you're operating with Pablo Plechkabar. You want to be very, very careful. So there you go. Big bust over at Penn State with that. And here's my other nickname-related story that I just absolutely love today because there's something so ridiculous about the police even trying this. It says, some of you won't necessarily understand this, but others will be very, very directly targeted. Man arrested, suspected of planning to distribute drugs at the gathering of the Juggalos this year, which is kind of funny in one way because, you might be more... It might be easier to find the guy who's not selling drugs at the gathering of Juggalo.
Fork found in kitchen over here.
Yeah, exactly, Josh. Yes, this is very much a fork found in kitchen sort of story, but they tracked down this guy. He's got a nickname and everything, who was one of the drug dealers.
Your family reunions look a little different than this. You probably aren't.
Here we go.
We have fun. We love everybody here. Everybody loves everybody here. It's so cool. It's just
oh God, Pop-Tart the clown. We've now been introduced to Pop-Tart the Clown.
I also like that he can't remember how many gatherings he's been to, so it says 15th or 16th.
It says Pop-Tart the Clown. He's at his 50th or 16th gathering. If you don't know what this is, it's the Insane Clown Posse. They have an annual festival where the Insane Clown Posse plays. And it's called the Gathering of the Juggalos. And the Juggalos are some strange individuals. There's been stories about cutting off nipples for $50.
No, you don't do that sober. You don't do that clean.
Didn't the FBI classify them as a gang of some sort?
They tried to classify them as, was it a gang or a terrorist organization?
One of the two. I think it might have been gang, but I'm not sure. Maybe they mentioned that in here. But they got this drug dealer guy.
Family I never met yet.
This is his 15th, maybe 16th gathering. He says he's lost count. And that family part isn't just something they say. Every few minutes during our interviews, someone else walked up for a hug.
And this is our vacation to see each other and see how the year's been and to just catch up.
Jellyfish drove 13 and a half hours from...
Oh, now we're talking to Jellyfish. Okay, we got more nicknames rolling in. Everybody brace yourself. Jellyfish is here.
This is her 20th gathering. Back home, she spent the last 25 years rehabbing houses. Pop-Tart works
Good
in
for her.
safety and quality for a major corporation. Both say that's the part of Juggalo culture people often miss.
Not all of us do drugs. I don't even drink.
Oh,
I'm just kind of goober.
sound like an insane clown pussy.
What did he say? Not all of us do drugs. Some of us don't even drink. I'm just a goober. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Both say that's the part of Juggalo culture people often miss.
Not all of us do drugs. I don't even drink. I'm just kind of goober.
The face paint, the
Okay.
tattoos, and sometimes violent lyrics have given Juggalos a reputation far outside their own community.
If
But
you are Pop-Tart the Clown
Yeah.
and you dress like that,
Put some
to your
respect on his name.
insane clown posse juggalo gathering, and you don't do drugs and you don't drink, what's your excuse?
I don't know. What's happening?
He's just a goober.
I actually understand the drug addicts being at the Juggalo concert more. I think you're right. Cat BH says this is how I picture Disc Camp. That's the News Junkie Discord annual camp gathering. Yeah, I could see that.
Well, who would
Jellyfish
be
with the
Pop-Tart
word
and who would be Jellyfish?
That
You guys
we'll have
decide
to sort
amongst
out.
yourselves.
Yeah. Figure that
family
out.
means here, and her answer sounds a lot less intimidating.
Never leave you hungry, never leave you stranded, and never ever let you sit there and cry alone.
The gathering officially begins Wednesday, but for the people arriving in Max Creek Tuesday, the reunion has already started.
40% of us are white trash. 60% of us got a big heart.
Okay. Now we know 40% of you are white trash, 60% have a big heart.
So the white trash doesn't have big hearts. Is that what he's suggesting?
Maybe not. Yeah, those people are not great. About the drug dealer, a man authorities believe was planning to distribute a large amount of marijuana during the gathering of the Juggalo is under arrest. Kevin Bluntman Jones, 45, has been held without bond.
It's a bit of a ripoff from the View Askewniverse.
It does seem that way. Yeah, Kevin
Smith.
Bluntman Jones was the drug dealer who was busted here. According to court records used to charge Jones, the Drug Task Force received information that he planned to distribute this marijuana at the festival, the Gathering of the Juggalos, at something called Bluntman's One Stop Shop, who had been supplying the festival for more
Real
than 20
covert
years.
operation, Blunt Man.
Blunt Man's One Stop Shop. When members of the task force stopped a pickup for traffic violations, they said they found approximately 128 pounds of marijuana in a camper that was being towed along with. Oh my God. Is this real? Okay. It says when they arrested this guy yesterday, they found approximately 128 pounds of marijuana in a camper that was being towed, along with signs reading "weed for sale," weed the number 4 sale, and flower for sale. They state they also located plastic containers of psilocybin mushrooms.
Nice.
The court documents state the search also located laminated paper with QR codes for various payment methods. So he was all on the level there. Kevin Bluntman arrested. The Gathering of the Juggalos is probably not the music festival you want your kids to go to, but they seem to have the most exciting nicknames.
I mean, but it seems like just the same amount of drugs at other music festivals.
Yeah,
if we're going to be honest. Maybe they're not dumb enough to put weed for sale at their one-stop shop.
It's 2026. They thought marijuana was pretty legalized everywhere.
I mean, I guess depending on where you are, the FBI's National Gang Threat Assessment classified Juggalos, the fan base of ACP, as a, quote, loosely organized hybrid gang, end quote, which is interesting because they mentioned the people's jobs in this news report. The designation led fans to face local police harassment and job losses. Because they came up as gang members, and a lot of people that lost their gig, their employment.
Yeah, that guy said he has a serious, real job at like a nice company, and behind the scenes, this is how he's operating.
Safety management.
Yeah, my God. All right. Well, that's for the ninjas out there. Isn't that what they call themselves? Is that
the Juggalos?
The Juggalos, but they call themselves ninjas too, I think. Am I getting that wrong?
Sure?
I don't know. Juggalos, feel free to chime in. You're out there somewhere, I'm sure.
Call in.
Yeah, give us a ring, okay? tips@thenewsjunkie.com is the email address, and you can also send a dispatch on thenewsjunkie.com.
It could be his first or second call.
Quick break. We should be his first, I think. He
No,
seems
I
like a
meant
nice enough.
he forgets how many times he's done stuff.
Yeah, true.
15th or 16th gathering.
Yeah, but I mean, in his defense, you know exactly how many Dave Matthews Band shows you've been to, C-Lane?
Yeah.
How many?
55.
All right, well, forget that.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy's got it under control, unlike the ICP fans. Quick break, back with more in just a moment. Join us on the show with your stories. We take some more of those Rate My Blank entries. More insanely shocking stuff going on in that Clancy case that will work in the at the top of the hour here in about 45 minutes or so. And WNBA, we got flock updates and the most bizarre idea I've heard in a long time, and that's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is.
Monsters in the morning.
Your sense of style is very normal.
Men aren't tacky. Like old women are tacky.
Well, I'm an old woman. How you like that?
You got that, right?
And don't record that, Angel.
Yeah, record it.
Stand by, folks. Mega chat fix incoming. Mega chat fix incoming. Allegedly, in a couple of minutes, YouTube should be returned to the fold. Pop-Tart, man. That guy better watch out. I hope he doesn't lose his job. Bootsy says, you really don't have to. It's okay. You guys know you miss YouTube. Mega Chat is lonely without YouTube. You know you miss them. We're bringing them back in. YouTube, since I'm fighting for you during the show and distracted, which is my nightmare, and I'm doing it again twice in 1 week, hit that like button. If you have any level of appreciation for the show, hit that like button on the stream today. We are doing good with our goal for today. We're at 23 subscriptions. So thank you for that. That's awesome. Love that. Concrete Mike dispatches about the gathering of the Juggalos. Couple of minutes and we're back live. YouTube incoming to Mega Chat. Hello? Whoa. Alcohol. Thank you. How much did you spend? Where did you go?
I got gas. I got my car washed.
Did you get shorter?
No, I'm just like half up, half down.
I think you might have got shorter.
I think you probably got shorter.
I think you might have got shorter.
Yeah, but you're older.
Yeah, I think you got shorter.
Down tall.
No, now it looks still shorter. I think you might be like...
I was as tall as you at the poker tournament with my heels on.
With your heels
only
on?
Like 3 inches.
I think you might have shrunk an inch or two, maybe.
No, I think you shrunk.
I think you might be like 5'5".
You're gonna have to like start wearing your hat where it's like up higher. You know how they wear it like that? Yeah. Like that, so you look taller, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna... What's up, guys? I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I am getting pretty gray, though. You see all the grays?
I like it.
You don't like it. Nobody likes it.
Baby, yes I do. I had a crush on Jon Stewart when I was like fucking 9.
Don't fucking talk about Jon Stewart in my studio. Don't talk about anybody you have a crush on. This is my studio, not Jon Stewart's studio.
He had gray hair.
I've had about enough of you.
Okay.
Gray hair, yes or no, chat? Let me know.
You
Give us your
shouldn't
thoughts.
dye it. That would look silly.
Huh?
You shouldn't dye it. That would look silly.
I'm going to dye it like Creed in The Office.
The Joe's Car Wash place has a really nice, like vacuum cleaning area.
Yeah?
Yeah. The
Tell
vacuums
me
are
more.
Super strong.
Okay.
And they have all different kinds of sprays, and they have clean towels and dirty towels, and they have a vacuum for both sides.
They have dirty towels?
Well, you put your dirty towels in the dirty towel thing.
Okay.
I thought it was excellent.
God.
I honestly saw parts that I wish I would go back and like have cleaned.
Okay. Well, you're go take your car there whenever you like.
Okay.
Okay. See you later. Bye. Thank you for the chat. There she goes, everybody. There goes Courtney. All right, we got 2 minutes and we are back live. Yes, Gray? I mean, I don't think I would ever dye my hair. I don't think I would do it. And then it seems like the endless cycle of always just chasing that. All right, it should be deploying the Mega Chat fix right now. In the next couple of minutes, YouTube should pop in. Chaos has sent an embarrassing story. We'll see if that's a good dispatch. I can't vouch for his dispatches all the time. "90 seconds and we're back." Oh, shoot. I got to put this thing in weekends. Hang on. Wednesday, 12 o'clock. This week in nicknames. All right. There we go. By the next break, Mega Chat should be fixed, folks. And then we should be clear. Stand by. We're coming back right now.
See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Last place in your fantasy league isn't just about losing. It's the group chat jokes, the punishment, a full year of hearing.
Thank you, Stacy's mom, for the gifted sub. Love you, appreciate you. Thanks for the big support.
Our players to target and players to avoid episodes tell you exactly who to circle and who to cross off. We're providing data-driven research on the podcast all season long so that you're the one talking trash, not taking it. Download the free iHeartRadio app, search the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast, and listen now.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Radio 104.1.
Home of the world famous game of magnets. This is the news.
C-Lane Josh, refresh your Mega Chat. Should be good to go, and all comments should be coming in. We could see your comments, just so you guys know. Just so you know, we could see your comments during the show from YouTube, Twitch, or TNJ Chat in what we call Mega Chat. It all flows into the studio, and we could see like Night Nurse, hey Natty, Sport, hey Tanya, hey Steph. We see all of you folks today, even Action Jackson. Thanks to Stacy's mom for the gifted subscription. Appreciate you on that front.
And for having it going on.
And for that. Yes, I forgot all about that. Okay, we have many things to start working into the show here. One thing I wanted to ask you guys. Strange question. This is weird, but I did want to just toss this out there. Tell me if you think this is normal. I was talking to somebody yesterday.
Not normal.
Wait for the details. And this person who I was talking to, I don't want to mention them because they don't want to be attached to this on the show because they didn't realize that this was weird. But they were telling me about their wife.
Poop night.
Okay. And they're like, I'm married. My wife is the best. I love her. And when they were telling me stories about their wife, I was like, oh, it sounds great. It sounds like things are going really well. And so they pull out their phone and they're showing me some pictures of their wife. Which, I mean, I think that's plenty normal. If we're having a conversation about somebody, you want to pull out your phone and you want to start showing me that person so I can have a visual for them. Okay. And he had a collection of photographs of his wife. And I could tell that he kind of cherry picked them. Like these were the photos that he thought were hot. Like his wife's hot photo gallery that he was trying to show Courtney and I. Like a sizzle reel. Yes, Josh. Yeah. And then when he's flipping through the photos, I'm like, oh, great. Congratulations. Looks like you guys are doing good. And then there's a photo. I go, she looks really young in that one. And there's a photograph of his wife, and she's like in a bikini in this shot. And I go, she looks really young in that one. He goes, yeah, she was 16 here. And I said, wait, your wife was
he
a
in
teenager?
the photo with her?
He's not in the photo with her. Oh. He wasn't with her when she was 16. They're in their 30s now, right? They're in their 30s together. And he has a photograph of her when she was 16 in a bikini because he liked the photograph. And I said, I was like, isn't that a little weird? She's like a teenager in a bikini in the photo. And he's like, it's my wife. And I thought about this. I go, Courtney, we have a digital picture frame in the house. And she has all sorts of photos of her when she was like 16 and 17 that pop up.
And there's a couple photos of you that, but of much younger you, like riding on a little choo-choo train.
Yeah, but I might pop in, I might see a photo of Courtney and be like, oh, she looks great in that picture. And then, oh, she's 17. Is it different if you have a photograph of somebody, like a bikini photograph of somebody, but it's your wife? And you're like, no, it's not weird. It's not weird because I'm with this person now, and this just happens to be a photograph of them when they were 16 years old.
I think so much weight socially has been put on the idea of even coming close to something that would be considered in the realm of pedophilia, in the neighborhood of pedophilia, that
bad neighborhood.
People, yeah, this is just not the place you would want to live.
House prices are plummeting. Housing values are dying.
But not going to say what that. But I think that's happened so much that until they build that school, that
it's an attractive neighborhood for a particular type of people.
No, I think there's been so much of that lately socially that people do kind of over critique stuff like that. I also wonder. You said they looked cherry picked. Do you think? Like there were no just random normal pictures of his wife?
Oh no, there was some that were just normal. It's him and his wife. Like maybe
could it be possible that he has like I have on my phone? I could go to my phone and I search Josh's name, and I could hit the button and it would pick up all pictures of Josh because my phone has indexed all my pictures and has grouped together facial recognition style. Pictures of my family, all my friends, and once I named them, and it could even attach a contact name to them. So I typed in Josh because I was trying to goof on a picture of his over the weekend, and it came up Josh Fowler, and I was like, boom, show me the Josh Fowler pics, and just what a trove of sexy
all
it was.
Hot.
Yeah,
no, he had these together.
I didn't cherry pick all the hottest Josh Fowler pics. They're just that good.
It seemed like he had grabbed these and put them together. Like these were the ones he would show people when he was showing his wife. Now, I want to tell you, I'll tell you guys during the break who this is. It's somebody that you're aware of. So I'm purposely sort of hiding their identity in different ways. But they had this selection of photographs, and they were like, these are my favorite ones. And among the photographs was one where their wife was 16 years old. And they didn't know their wife at the time. They didn't get married at that time. But they're like, well, if it's your wife, it's not weird anymore.
Yeah.
If you had a photo of your wife, C-Lane, and in the photo, like in all these photos, one of them was when she was 16. Is that weird?
I don't know where I would have gotten it.
Maybe she was like, here's some of my photos. And you're like, oh, I really like this photo of you. She's 16 in the photo. She's not 16 now. She's your wife. You're married to her.
No, I started to say, even like Evil Eye said, so my wife was 16 once. Everybody's wife was 16 at some point.
Probably.
I guess I just think that some people would imply that if you were showing off hot pictures of your wife and you went, here's the hot one where she's 16, that seems like the context.
It seems like you like that one more.
The context seems like if you had just shown like baby pictures of my wife and like they're getting older, I don't know. The context seems weird.
It is a little bizarre. I'll tell you who it is during the break, but I was like, that's an interesting one to have in the selection of choice photographs of your significant other. It wasn't done in a creepy way. Just, something seemed a little strange. All right, hit us up with tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Your emails are coming in, and I want to make sure that if you want to be anonymous, put that right on top, please. Put that right up on top of the email to tips, TIPS, @thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we'll get into a couple of dispatches here and a bunch of the big stories of the day on the way. I saw that there's this campaign starting to go viral. I don't know how serious they are about this. Is this somehow a genius idea? That's the question I'm floating out right now. You know how Cards Against Humanity does all of these strange viral campaigns? Yes. Liquid Death does them too. Liquid Death gets involved and they do these like viral campaigns and stuff. Liquid Death has one going right now with Jason Kelce, who is he's not the one married to Taylor Swift, right?
No, that's his brother.
Okay, his brother. And it's in response to everybody's AI data centers fears. And they have an idea. I don't know how serious they are about this. Let me roll on this.
AI data centers waste millions of gallons of water. That's why Liquid Death and Garage Beer have decided to team up. We want your pee to cool these data centers. We want your pee. Please give us your pee.
I wasn't expecting the song.
I wasn't either. Is there at the core of this an idea? Everybody's so worried about water usage in data centers. They're saying that everybody together can send their urine over to the data centers, and then that's still liquid. They reuse that all the time.
True.
If they cool that down, but I don't know. Maybe we need this, man. I'm not sure.
Don't some of the waste treatment facilities does the water get treated in such a way that it goes back to being drinkable water, or are we using that for other stuff?
It goes back to being like water that we use for landscaping, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
reclaimed water.
Is that gray water? Is that what the gray water thing is?
I think it's gray water before they treat it.
Possibly,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's already a whole bunch of video gamers.
Gray water is the stuff that's if you're talking about like RV tanks, you have your dark water or black water tank and your gray water tank. The gray water is the runoff from your sinks.
Right. Okay.
So it's not necessarily pee, but it's not necessarily stuff you would want to drink.
So then once we use our bathrooms and go either number 1 or number 2 and then flush it off, that is never reclaimed and used in any way again? That water is now just absolute garbage and we don't use it anymore?
No, there's got to be something else because the whole idea of water is it's a water cycle. So the stuff that can evaporate up and just be water and then rain somewhere and somebody's pee.
What I'm suggesting is
on your head.
If we send all of this to the data centers to cool down the data centers, are we creating a new issue? Are we creating a different issue here? No one, like we said, Sean, seriously, who's reusing pee? They do in space, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think NASA does this. I think there's some people that do this stuff. Chaos says, before we bitch about water in data centers, let's talk about the amount used on almonds. Don't get me started in this again. I've already staked this claim and I've already gone down this path. I've said that there are plenty of reasons to be angry about data centers. Water usage is the most overblown of all of them. It started as a TikTok meme, and people who aren't very smart or haven't dived deep enough don't understand that that's not the biggest problem, or not even really a significant one with data centers. There's plenty of big ones. But what if they got rid of that problem altogether and instead use the byproduct of all of our bodies that we instead flush down the toilet? Is this perhaps a genius idea?
Let's be on computers together, 'cause we need lots of pee, endless gallons of pee. Join our important endeavor. We want your pee.
Oh my God.
Please give us your pee. Let's be on computers together and save humanity. We want
You get it. You get the point. I'll stop it right there. You get the point. This is what they're trying to do. A new movement to calm people down over data centers, to have everybody send in their urine. And they collect it. They send it in. That becomes the gallons and gallons and gallons that is used to circulate and cool these places. I know it's silly. I know it's ridiculous. Is there a decent idea at the core of this somewhere?
I think
perhaps
so.
There is.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay. All right. Everything's fixed over here. Good to go. A lot of dispatches coming in. I'll play one right now, and then we'll get to more of the show, including the hot sheet in just a moment. This is somebody with an embarrassing story. Okay. Some of these I can't do, unfortunately. Actually, somebody wanted to talk about the State Farm thing, and they've gotten a lot more money than even I was suggesting. I didn't know this. I brought up the State Farm mailbox money thing. I guess every customer of State Farm is technically somehow an owner in the company. Like
every customer?
Yeah.
I've heard of stuff where every employee is, but your customer base is also?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's somebody right here, Seeks, talking about this.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, with that State Farm dividend, I'm going to get back almost $800. I don't know how they calculate it, but 3 vehicles on my policy. I'll take it.
He's getting $800 from his auto insurance company. Here's Jammin' Jay.
Hey, junkie. I have State Farm, had them for 20 years or more. I'm uncancelable. So if something happens, they just jack my rate way up. I did my shopping around all the other ones, and they're still the best price, believe it or not. Anyway, I got my 300.
He got 300
too. The checks. I got them last week, I think it was, or the week before. I got about 300. My son got about 200 on there, so that's a pretty good deal. Basically, just pays for the next payment. Anyway, wiggle, wiggle, and up, pop, pop.
I've not heard of this with other companies, with insurance companies like this.
It says State Farm operates as a mutual insurance company, meaning it's owned by its policyholders rather than outside stockholders. But your ownership rights depend on the line of insurance you have.
Okay, that's what the mutual part. Is that what Mutual of Omaha does too, since it's in the name? I don't know if it, so it's like, so when you're buying State Farm insurance, you're buying into like a bigger thing, and then if the stock does well, which it has done well, they pay those dividends back to the people who are purchasing the insurance. So that's why all these customers, that was in this news story we were talking about earlier, all these customers are getting hundreds of dollars back because the stock has done well. That's a pretty good selling point, actually, for them. I don't know if they'll push that, or if they already do. Quick break. When we come back, the hot sheet is on the way. More emails, dispatches, updates on the WNBA drama, and more importantly, probably at the top of the hour, we'll get into things have just gone completely off the rails in one of the stories we've been following. So we'll get to that in just a bit. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9.
All right, hello. Welcome behind the scenes. In jury duty a bit later, we will get to an update on the Tupac Shakur case that's going on. It's pretty crazy, actually. Okay, I got Mega Chat working, so I am going to leave well enough alone. I will harden this fix after the show so it does not happen again. But I'm not going to risk it right now. All right. Just one away from the goal. You can subscribe to a premium subscription on thenewsjunkie.com. Unlock the ad-free stream. Get TTS abilities. You can send in text-to-speech dispatches. You don't even have to have your voice on the radio. Hell, you could use mine with TTS. We're just one away. Subscribe to support over at thenewsjunkie.com. Or if you're already a subscriber, gift some subscriptions to other users. I've been with State Farm for over 30 years. This is the first time I've ever had money returned. Really? So this isn't like a common thing with them? That's good to know. That's less attractive. Stand by. Oh, quick follow-up. Because a lot of people were emailing about this. Somebody said, yesterday I was talking about the Napster-like program. Napster, LimeWire. There was all these different programs. And I said, there was one of them that was really popular with like the cool kids online. And everybody was using Napster, but the cool kids were using this other piece of software. And all the people who emailed trying to guess this, so many of you missed. Like Rick says, I believe the peer-to-peer system you were thinking about in yesterday's show is called iMesh. That is not it. Lots of you emailed, sent messages on different platforms. Lots of you had many, many guesses. The answer was actually Nutella. G-N-U-T-E-L-L-A. Hello? No, it's not on. This is on though. Hold on.
Worth doing. You pick up your cell phone and you dial pound 250. You say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. And, there's a few minimum requirements, but this is definitely worth doing. It's called Life Imaging. And when you get in there, ask about cancer screening. Finding out early about cancer can save your life. It's Life Imaging. Once again, pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Please tell them that Russ Rollins and the Monster sent you to Life Imaging. Scan while you can at Life Imaging.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft.
Wow. I've never heard that many racial slurs in just a short period of time. Check, check, check. You got me back, everybody? No, she didn't say anything offensive. She didn't. Courtney is right now out there processing the rest of the spider curse magnets and everybody else around that order. When those are done, all of the Starry Night magnets are going to be processed tomorrow. So if you were wondering where your Starry Night magnet is, good news on the way. Those will be processed tomorrow. You should get them end of this week, early next week. Stand by. Here comes the hot sheet.
Cents with the Blizzard Double Flip deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents only when you order on the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good. For limited time at participating U.S. locations.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler. Courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
We are not ignoring your dispatches. I promise you all. Take some time to work on a bunch of your most embarrassing stories in the second half of the show today. That's right. We are only halfway done. We've got a lot left to sort through. I haven't even got to the juicy stuff or anything controversial, honest to God. I can't believe we've started out this soft today, but we just got carried away in different directions. So
we're going to get hard now.
Second half of the show is going to be rock hard, baby. All right? All the way rock hard. So do not miss out. Right now, we're going from soft to medium. All right? It's happening right now. Let's do the hot sheet.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigator reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
Good blow there, Josh.
That's right. The hot sheet is here. The top 5 stories of the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And I didn't know we were calling this guy disgraced. The headline says disgraced rocker. I know that every time we talk about him, it's usually bad news for him. Ryan Adams has had a bad run the last so many years. Not to be confused with Brian Adams. This is Ryan Adams. He canceled his upcoming European tour after telling fans on Instagram that he was wildly sick, and now he's broke. And in a deleted Instagram post, he said he'd run out of options and was selling personal belongings.
Oh my God!
On Instagram or online, including his Cadillac, guitars, and recording equipment. He said, "I'm broke and sick and tired and defeated, but my heart is blasting with hope and love and riff optimism." Weird.
Okay.
Weird kind of shift there. I appreciate anybody who could give these treasured things a new life. And then he said, now I'm going to sit in the sunlight with my cats and cry because I need to, and I'm not sure how many more times I can hit this wall. When is it enough? Somebody check on Ryan Adams.
Yeah, who posts this stuff for the public? Good God. What do I know Ryan Adams from? What's the big song? Because every time you say it, I think Brian Adams, and you're right about the mix-up.
What do you think, Josh, is his big song?
Come Pick Me Up, New York, New York.
Is that New York, like the cover?
I don't know. This is what the internet's telling me.
I know the one, I really liked the one that was in Old School. To be young is to be weird is to be old.
That might be his bigger one.
You think so?
Really?
Or, sorry, to be young is to be sad is to be high.
1, 2,
the one.
That's the one I know.
Yeah. This is a banger.
Okay.
But, yeah, it says his career changed sharply after like a big launch in 2019 when several women, including singer him of retaliating after they rejected his advances, which is bad behavior. But I feel like overall there's been so much worse that you would call somebody a disgraced musician for.
When did those complaints come out? Because there was a time when things were just kind of going sideways.
2019.
So. Okay, yeah, that's the heat of the right when things were starting to get weird.
Of
that's
the
when
Me Too movement.
Yeah, but that's when it's like the overreach of Aziz Ansari and some of those other stories where you're watching and you're like, this doesn't seem that bad. Like, this seems like a bad date or something, not something that somebody should be canceled forever for.
The controversy ultimately cost Adams his record label and management and disrupted planned releases, and he disputed many of the allegations before later issuing a public apology, but he's not having such a great time selling off some of his stuff. There wasn't a whole lot new coming out about the Hayden Panettiere death, except one thing that I thought, I didn't know if this was sort of the media kind of ginning this up or if it really was this Ethan Suplee that was in Remember the Titans with her when she was really young.
Yeah.
But he posted sort of like his thoughts on his Substack about her dying and just kind of like a memoir or sort of a tribute. But it was a little bit close to the Alec Baldwin post or video that he did where he was trying to sort of eulogize Sam Neill, but mostly talked about himself. Mm-hmm. And in this one, it's like, here's my post about Hayden Panettiere, and most of it is him talking about doing heroin.
I saw that.
So Ethan Suplee, I don't know exactly how to say his name. If you saw Remember the Titans, he was the big fat guy, right? Yeah. And he
super buff now.
He has undergone a huge transformation. The guy looks great for what he used to look like. But in this post, he says September 23rd, 2000 was the night of the Remember the Titans premiere at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. On the red carpet, Hayden Panettiere, the 10-year-old girl from the movie, ran up to me, leapt into my arms, and gave me a big hug. Holding her, I was lighter. Some of her energy and innocence washed over me, and for a moment, my smile was genuine. That was the nice part. Mm-hmm. Then he goes, I went from the press line to the bathroom and smoked heroin. I was late for the cast meetup with our real-life counterparts. When I got there, I met the real Louis Lastic, which was the guy he played in the movie.
Yeah.
And when he met the guy, he's like, this guy's not fat. He wasn't fat, not like I was. I imagined his disappointment at seeing who they'd gotten to play him, so I went back to the bathroom and smoked heroin.
Okay.
Then we were all supposed to take laps around.
As one does.
We were all supposed to take laps around the stadium in golf carts with the guys that we played. So everybody that played a real person was supposed to get in a golf cart and do laps around the stadium. Why? Press junket. I don't know. When I sat on our cart, it broke. I crushed one of the rear wheels. The other carts rolled off, and while they managed to wrangle a new one for Lewis and me, everybody else disappeared. We made a much slower lap, and while the movie played, I sat in the bathroom, cried, and smoked heroin.
Back to the heroin.
The whole post about Hayden Panettiere, who he'd been in this movie with, overdosing, was about his problems with heroin.
Yeah, this happens a lot, though, with Hollywood celebrity types. So they as you can see with the Alec Baldwin thing and then this, they get caught up in the story, and then they just start talking about their favorite thing, which is themselves.
Yeah, he mentioned seeing her one last time as they made their way out of the stadium, and once again she leapt into my arms, and once again I felt some relief. I didn't die of an accidental overdose that night, but went to bed believing I wouldn't wake up. Thanks for reading my Substack. He finishes with, feel free to share. Hey, I don't know how much people have been paying attention to the Impractical Jokers lately.
All right.
But
all I know is they're one guy down. They've been one guy down for a while now.
How many were there? 4?
There was 4, and Joe
Joe
Gatto had a controversy where he was like hooking up with young girls even when he was married, and then he left the show for a little while.
Well, the 3 remaining, James Murray, Sal Vulcano, and Brian Q. Quinn, are still at it. And I think what they've done for this next season is pretty good as far as maybe getting some viral publicity. If you forgot about Impractical Jokers, like, hey, we're still doing stuff.
The ratings are still really good, actually.
I wonder if they took some inspiration from a hugely viral story that happened this year.
What's that?
Because they sent one of them up the Empire State Building, climbing up the Empire State Building. The stars of Impractical Jokers gave the Empire State Building a shine, they're saying. There's a clip out where it has Murray lost a challenge, so they hoisted him 100 stories up dressed as a human mop to clean up the windows of the Empire State Building. And they just released a small clip of it because it's like, all right, this is pretty scary, pretty ballsy thing to do. And that was kind of a little bit of like a push or an advertisement for the next season that's set to air next year, Thursdays at 10 p.m. on TBS. I didn't know they were on TBS.
Yeah, they
new?
moved them from True TV to TBS to they've been moving them around a little bit, I think.
But if you look up the picture, it's pretty hilarious because he is dressed like a giant mop. I'm sure that many of you already know, but if you haven't heard, rest in peace to the longtime drummer of legendary rock band ZZ Top. Frank Beard has died at 77. Aww. According to a Fort Bend County medical examiner, he passed away August 17th at his Texas ranch with family by his side after a stay in hospice. Cause of death has not been disclosed at this time. ZZ Top canceled their show last night in Salt Lake City and tonight in Colorado Springs. They are back with a backup drummer. 2 dates at Austin City Limits, one of Frank's favorite venues. And if, just in case you haven't heard, I know everybody's talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Beard was what, Josh?
Beardless.
The only member of ZZ Top that didn't have a beard.
I heard the medical examiner went to the rest of the band and said, would you like to know how he died? And they responded with a how.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the mop video if you're watching on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. This is Murr from the
blow
Impractical
there,
Jokers.
Josh.
There he goes. This is Murr from the Practical Jokers. all dressed up like a mop on top of the Empire State Building.
It's very funny.
They went a very long way to pull this off. I would not be able to do this, but I guess they did. Yeah, he went all the way up. They say
that's pretty far up there. That's you're getting to the spire part almost.
Yeah, that's where that couple was. You were right about that.
Yeah, they got all the way up to the top.
He's outside of him right there. Good God, dressed as a mop. My God.
And miraculously smiling, because I don't know that I'd be smiling that big if I were strapped to the Empire State Building in such a way. And last but not least, congratulations to Salma Hayek, who is now a first-time grandmother.
Aww.
A hot first-time grandmother. She became a grandmother after stepson Francois Penault Jr. Welcome to baby boy with wife Lara Cosima. Oh, sorry. Wife Lara Cosima Henkel von Donnersmarck.
Ah, yes.
A long-ass name. She's officially a grandmother after her stepson welcomed a baby boy with his wife. The boy is also named Francois, though Hayek says in a post to Instagram she plans to call him Panchito. Congratulations, Ms. Hayek. Hey, if you have a mortgage rate with a 7 or 8 in front of it, you should be checking into a refi immediately because you're 100% paying too much, and that mortgage guy Don wants to help. Already have a quote? You still go to thatmortgageguyDon.com, take a picture of the quote on your phone, upload it to the Compare Your Quote tab. It's that easy. Don will review it with you and tell you if you're leaving money on the table. Do it today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
How.
No, we're moving past that. We're moving past that.
Oh, that's good.
All right, when we come
Thank
back, I've got maybe the clip of the day to play for you. Then we got to talk about the Clancy case. The folks who have been reacting to this, it's getting more and more bizarre. I'll explain and play a couple of things for you on that as well, as all coming up in the second half of the show. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns to the World Center of Racing with the NASCAR.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Cosidius is definitely a slow news week. It's a slow news month, my man. It's a slow news month. Okay? Where did my story go? There we go. Okay. Stand by, streamers. I got to play something real quick. Okay. All right, good drama incoming, I promise. I promise. It is a slow news cycle, but we've always got the drama. All right? Don't encourage Josh, please, by the way. Don't encourage Josh. Hang on. Let me fix whatever's happening here. Stand by. Don't encourage Josh, please. Yeah. Word. Fart Fig Newton. Don't fuck around with the mods, please. Just try to be normal. Try to be a normal individual. I don't know. That shouldn't be very difficult. But for some people it is. We'll find out in the next, 10 minutes or so if it's going to be difficult for you. But try to be a normal person, like a normal human being. Interact with people. That sort of stuff. Is Fart Fig Newton causing problems on YouTube? We can have a vote on if we should ban Fart Fig Newton. But this does go to show that earlier, when Mega Chat didn't include YouTube, I must say for the record, there were zero problems. There were zero problems. Fart Fig says, go read the Stanford Prisoner Experiment. Why would I read that? It's bullshit. Do you think that that's a legit study that has something worthwhile to pull from it? You know, it was a bunch of like kids basically hyping things up and being dramatic, right? It's not like some deep study that has a big impact on the world. And psychology is just rocked to its core by this experiment. Unless that's maybe that's your take. I don't know. Healthy debate is welcome. What's he doing? I didn't see. I don't know. Just ban him if he's being a dick face. YouTube needs some men effing mods to get the crazy to settle so the norms could have fun with the show. Hey, why is somebody coming in and talking about the Sanford prison experiment? What the how weird is that? Would you just Kool-Aid man yourself into every life experience you have? Where you just, oh yeah, bust yourself and you're like, the Stanford prison experiment. That is weird as shit. What are you doing? He's an expert, I guess. I'm just explaining to you that this is a bullshit study that anybody who knows isn't something that they could replicate because it was a bunch of college kids who were hyping up the experience and then they tried to turn that into some psychological revelation. But if you read into that study, I know what it is, I'm aware of it, it's really a worthless study that doesn't mean much to psychology, generally speaking. My question is, why are you talking about it? All right. One more bizarre comment from the fart fig dude, and I'm just going to bounce him. Actually, I think I just need to, right? Fart fig, say goodbye. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going in. I'm going in. Oh! We hardly knew ye. See you later, fart fig. F's in chat for fart fig, please. R.I.P. Rip fart fat, whatever his name was. Free speech? There's no free speech around here. Is there free speech in your living room at your house? Thank you, bye. And he's gone. It's like one of those. Just punt it out. Try to imagine that the chat rooms around this show are sort of like a party with people hanging out. And you come in with your junk out and you're like, Stanford prison experiment. Yeah. You're probably going to get banned because you're weird. It's just like weird behavior. You wouldn't walk into somebody's living room in the middle of a football game and be like, Stanford prison experiment. President's a pedophile. BTW, that's usually like a pretty solid hint that somebody's a bit weird. But it's been good and it's been fun. We're coming back, folks. Here we go. Here we go.
It's supersure.com. That's supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
At youtube.com/the news junkie, youtube.com/the news junkie. I love to see you over there. Come join us. It's a great community of people on YouTube, Twitch, and TNJ chat. Do they fight with each other? Constantly. They do. Do they hate each other? Yes. Do they all think they're better than the other platform? 100%. But only one of them is right.
Is that by design?
Yes. Yes. Is it like a gauntlet of throwing them all together to watch them fight? Sometimes that's enjoyable and fun. Yes, absolutely. But one of the big dramas today is around this woman. I haven't heard much talk about her, honestly, prior to this week. But there's this woman who...
Oh, the aide?
Yeah, Trump's aide, Natalie Harp. I guess she's like with Trump on the road. And like,
is she a new aide? Because I felt the same way. Like, I'm seeing a ton of stories about this girl, about how she is not leaving Trump's side. In fact,
Natalie Harp.
When I first saw, what's with the Trump aide that won't leave Trump's side, I thought it might be the belly button girl that had the button to wake him up.
Yeah.
But
Not
it's a
her.
totally different one.
No, yeah. By the way, that woman responded. The woman who people were saying she had a button in her belly button that she would press to shock Trump to wake her up, wake him up when he fell asleep in the White House. She responded and said, "I'm pregnant, you fools. What are you talking about?" So that conspiracy put to rest.
All right.
No pun intended. But this one is a new one for the crazies out there, and they're talking about Natalie Harp. All right, Natalie Harp is this woman who's been working with Trump for quite some time. And I guess people are tossing her into the mix. And there's some suggestion now that she's got like a sexual relationship with Trump, which I'm just going to say something here. I don't think Trump's having sex with anybody. He's 80 years old. He's in the White House. His schedule is wall to wall to wall to wall, focused on president things, things that you might like, that you might hate. But wall to wall to wall with president things. I don't think that he's got a lot of time for hanky-panky, as the old people say.
He's no JFK.
I don't think he's JFK in it. All right? I'm just saying that. Maybe you think I'm wrong. Maybe you think he's just really having a whole bunch of White House lovemaking sessions.
Do you think that other presidents had a lot of sex?
Younger ones, yes.
JFK.
Yeah. Younger ones, yes. Somebody says this aide is unhinged. Why? Well, I don't know. We'll go through the evidence. Let's see what we can find here. There is a candidate right now running for office that is getting a lot of attention with the Democrats named John Ossoff. And he tossed off this bomb about Trump, kind of like hinting that he's sleeping with this aide. At least that's what I think he was doing here. Maybe you can take something else from it. Here's the clip that sort of started this whole thing.
And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly...
So quiet, this clip. Let me pump this up. Nothing is working for me today. I apologize, folks. Here we go. Let me make the clip a little louder so we can hear John Ossoff and what he's saying.
Drains our munitions and oil reserves. The president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Yeah. Travel with Natalie is the new thing that they're working in. So he's like, travel with Natalie. There's lots of rumors about, are they really in some sort of relationship or something? This is the woman here at the Republican National Convention. She is a blonde woman you might have seen in some photographs with President Trump. And I think that she is sort of popped into the news a lot because the story about Trump being pulled off of Air Force One, leaving the media to die, which is great. It's just quite the thing. They thought that Iran was going to blow the Air Force One plane out of the sky. And Trump went into like a catering truck, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then they put him on another plane and got away from what they thought was the threat here. And he took this Natalie Harp woman with him. And so there was like, oh, wow, he must care about her so much. And I think that, I could be wrong, but I think that's sort of what started a lot of this speculation
about Natalie Harp, who I had not heard of much before all of this.
The guy talking about it looks like Thomas Lennon.
Yeah? Oh, who? This guy?
No, the dude that was doing the speech a second ago.
Oh,
John
what?
Ossoff.
You've already probably X'd
John
up,
Ossoff,
but
yeah. In this case, you got Natalie Harp, right? Her brother has been going on CNN and I guess talking about her and the president. So, like, the family is getting involved in this, too. So, it's weird. The drama is multi-layered. And now let's hear from her brother, who's wearing a Bud California
He looks
hat.
like Tuttle.
He does a little bit look like Tuttle, yeah. Radio star Tuttle. And here's what the brother of this woman was saying on CNN.
Two sources, Preston, are telling CNN that your sister was involved, back in October 2023, right? The context here is Donald Trump's motorcade was going to leave Trump Tower for a court appearance, okay? And they were all getting into the motorcade. There was sort of a screaming match about who was getting in what car, and it turned out that there wasn't room for Natalie. So she insisted, she said no. Trump had personally asked her to come to this court appearance, so she needed to be in the car. Now, according to these sources, the end result is that your sister jumped into the trunk of one of the motorcade vehicles.
No
to
way.
go to the court appearance in Lower Manhattan.
That's really funny. I didn't even know about that.
Okay, all right. There's so many layers to this.
Bro, my sister never tells me stuff.
Do we believe that she literally jumped into the trunk of a vehicle and then they drove off so she could ride with Trump? She
Why
jumped.
not?
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they were saying. And it's also weird that your brother is on CNN doing this interview. That seems weird to me too. Like maybe they're not close or something, but he's kind of doing this interview. Let's see if he trashes her.
I mean, what is your reaction to that? I mean, you're laughing, but I mean, is it funny or what? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
her, so
No,
that's why.
I'm sorry. It's actually kind of sad. That's obsession. That's like an unhealthy obsession with someone. If you're going to jump into the trunk of their car, like.
All right. Great interview, pal.
Well, you don't smoke before you go on CNN.
He's high as hell. He goes on CNN. Oh, that's funny. No, it's not funny. No, it's concerning. It's again, I had not heard much about this woman at all until recently. And then with the comments about her and the insinuation that she was sleeping with Trump, I kind of agree with this dude, believe it or not, from The Five on Fox, where he's like, it's lame to get super upset about this. It's lame to be like clutching your pearls about any of the comments about her. You don't need to be that soft because we're not playing a soft game. Here's how they describe this whole thing.
Jesse, it wasn't a quip that just came rolling off the tongue. It was written into the speech. So it was planned.
Yeah. I mean, Natalie had bone cancer and Trump saved her life with right to try. So she's loyal. She's like, my Johnny. Johnny, very loyal. Some would say I saved his life.
Huh?
Who's Johnny?
I don't know. And maybe it's his intern or something he's talking about
My
here.
Johnny.
I don't watch this show, so I don't know
My
anything about
Johnny
it.
lies over the ocean.
I do like when people just assume that the audience knows so much about him. He's like, for me, it's like my Johnny. We all know how he is. I have no idea who his Johnny is, but I'm assuming it's like his intern or something.
Metaphorically speaking.
I knew you were going to go.
But I mean, to suggest that Trump surrounds himself with attractive women, yeah, I think he's done that his whole life. I don't think he's very upset about the comment. Am I fazed by this comment? No.
Why would
Has
you be?
Trump said so much worse, so much more sleazy things against other people? Yes. Have I defended those things? Absolutely. So I'm not going to pretend I'm all hot and bothered about it. And
So he's not getting upset, he said. It's like this is a full contact sport. Trump, and everybody knows this is just true. Like, he says really intense stuff about other people.
That was a very fair thing for him to say. He said, like, oh, what am I supposed to be mad about the traveling with Natalie comment when I support the guy who's said so much worse? That was a very honest answer from him.
At the core of this, I think there's something that is worthwhile. I hate the pearl clutching when everybody goes so hard. Like, people on the extremes of politics go so hard against each other. They call each other like the worst names, like Nazi and fascist and racist and rapist and like pedophile, all of the worst things in the world. They call each other this stuff nonstop. And then if they can find a moment where something like this happens, they'll clutch their pearls and be like, how could they do this? Like, no, you guys are shooting all sorts of stuff at each other. This is sort of the game. This is what you've decided to play. I don't like it, but I mean, it seems to me like this is the direction you're heading in. So at least don't get so upset about it when somebody else fires a shot back at you. That kind of made sense to me, at least. We'll see what you think. But yeah, I mean, I'd never heard that woman's name before. And now she's all over the place in a bunch of headlines, accusations that she's having some sort of relationship with Trump, et cetera, et cetera. More people talking about the State Farm money. You guys are getting rich off this.
The people on the texting service have been chiming in like, I'm getting over 600 from State Farm. State Farm, 5 cars, got 600 back. I have USAA. I got a dividend from them in July for over $800. Each December, I get an annual dividend that usually covers my December payment.
I'm getting nothing over here. I have made some big mistakes.
You're getting buckus. Since you're using all the old terms today.
I've made some bad decisions over here. I woke up paying $1,400 or whatever it was for my insurance bill, which I had to push through. And then everybody else said, oh, God, you were doing it wrong, Sean. Here's the situation we have. And then we learned State Farm's giving money out. Everybody's getting rich except for me. Here's Shark Bait.
Good morning, junkies. What's going on? It is me in the pool again, the water fountain behind me. I am calling about the State Farm thing. So about a week or two ago, I did get a check from State Farm, and it was like for like $98 or something like that, right? And I never questioned money in the mail. I just immediately deposit it into my account or cash it before they decide to change their mind and take it back. But it's kind of cool that it's like, mailbox money. I never really thought I got mailbox money before. I did have State Farm for a few years. I am now with Allstate. But anyway, thanks, guys.
I wonder how many of you will be like, yeah, I used to be with State Farm. And then they send you a big check for $600. And maybe I'll come back. Although somebody on chat said earlier this was the first time they've gotten a dividend like this because of the success of the company's stock and because every State Farm customer, I guess, is somehow an owner of the company. But pretty crazy. All right, well, we'll get into more of your responses, more of your embarrassing stories. I've got a clip that's going mega viral right now that I want to talk about when we come back. In jury duty, some shocking news about the Tupac case. A lot to get to, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
If this were written by AI, it would sound way more polite. Luckily, it's just us. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Left lane's blocked southbound on I-95 before Garden Street. There's a crash getting cleared up off to the shoulder on the Greenway northbound at Curry Ford Road. Where US 192 meets Celebration Place, there's a crash there. On Colonial at Westmoreland Drive, there's an accident getting cleared up. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes, everybody. Let me ask you a question. Anybody in chat that has gone on an interview this year, say yes in chat if you've gone on an interview, a job interview, this year in 2026. Yes or no? I want to see how many of you are out there in the marketplace and whether or not this story that I'm seeing that's getting some attention, if it seems a little aggressive to you or not. Maya says, I've gone on a job interview recently. Feral Kitten says, I did, but it was with my same company for a promotion. Does that count? Yes, I think it could. I think it could possibly. Ghostidia says, yes. Das Hefe says, I haven't been on an interview in 23 years. Zero says, I've had many phone video interviews and a couple in person. Perfect. You're a great candidate to talk about this. No, but I hope. Okay. A woman had a meltdown, and I'll play some of this for you. This woman had a meltdown because she went for a job interview at a grocery store, I believe. And when she showed up for the interview, they turned her right around and said, no, thank you. We aren't interested in hiring you or offering you a position. and we'd like you to leave. And the woman filmed herself in the parking lot of this store where she was trying to apply, and she just started burning all the bridges, letting them have it. She said that the company turned her away because she was 4 minutes late to her job interview. What do you think? Fair to turn somebody around? You make a job interview appointment with them. They're trying to work for you. You're going to pay them money. And then they show up to the job interview. She says she was 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late. And she said they turned her ass around and said, nope, if you're late even a minute for your job interview, you're going to be late for work. You're a late person. You have qualities that we don't think are good for us and a good fit for us at our company. Cosidius says 4 minutes late now, 20 minutes late when she starts. Bootsy says 4 minutes late is late, just like I wouldn't wait if the hiring manager was late. Not a good look on your first day? 15 minutes early to your first interview is on time. I mean, 4 minutes, I will grant you, is not mega late. But it's a job interview. There's literally nothing more important than being on time for the job interview. I think not hiring somebody based on being 4 minutes late for a job interview is a totally normal response. That's like getting fired for a no-call, no-show. Tony disagrees, though. He says mistakes happen. Job interview, be there half hour early and board in your car. I mean, I personally, I'm not somebody who is late for stuff. I am almost always on time or like a little bit early to everything that I have to do. I think a lot of these things come from our childhood. My mom and dad would be late picking me up from enrichment at school. And so I hated late stuff. I hated anything being late. I try to be on time for everything. But if you're an employee, showing up late is inexcusable. And not only is it inexcusable, it's one of those things where it's a little bit of an insight and a red flag into the type of employee you're going to be. 2 minutes and we're back, folks. They could have just turned away the best candidate for the job. You're late with them magnets? Hey, the magnet thing wasn't my fault. I ran out of random magnets, and so I had to order these. And when I ordered them, the magnet company that I've ordered 55,000 magnets from, the magnet company was out of magnets. They didn't have any. So I had to wait until we just got these yesterday. We just got them, and now I can finish up those orders and get them out. So I promise they're on the way. Have a little faith. Being early is on time. Being on time is late. Why is Secret Shows consistently late then? Bullshit. When is Secret Shows late? I was so focused on Secret Shows not being late, I put it on a schedule of 8 p.m. on Thursdays. I put a countdown timer to it on the website. And then I started telling you when I will post it on Fridays, 5 p.m. on Fridays. When is Secret Shows late, sir? Huh? I await your reply. Secret Shows is always late, but that's C-Lane's fault. We're not late. We've been on time for a while now. And you know it. All right, we got to talk about this because life is brutal. And you got to hear this woman. I think Aldi dodged a real minefield here. They dodged a bullet. Wait till you hear this video. Here it is.
Stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now, all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in!
That's a Jet touchdown.
Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down.
As we get closer to week 1.
It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live, local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Today is Mo Betta with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys. High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom. This is
But also an absolutely brutal time, especially for young folks. I'm seeing so many stories about younger people, Josh, who are saying that they're trying to get into the job market.
Yes.
And AI is taking a lot of the jobs, which I think is true. I mean, I think a lot of the jobs that are being replaced right now are being replaced because you can replace people with automation. It's just as simple as that. And they're also saying that the interview process is an absolute nightmare these days. So things have changed pretty drastically. Like I saw somebody complaining the other day, this younger person reacting to some of the slower economic news and people being fired in all sorts of different jobs. And they were saying, I recently had to go through 5 interviews to try to get a job. The hiring process is too long now.
Yeah.
And they said, like, 5 interviews is ridiculous. It is kind of ridiculous. I feel like if you own a company and run a company and have some people who work for you that do these interviews, it should be easier than that to lock in on the candidate you're looking for.
There's someone we all know that's trying to transition positions within the same company, and he's already moving on to a 3rd interview.
Yeah.
Do you think the number of interviews should be somewhat reflective of the level of job? Because I feel like there was a couple interviews for working at a theme park, and it was like there was like a group interview and then another thing, and then maybe one of them kind of involved training or orientation, but there was a couple things before getting to the actual job. And
I had 3 interviews to work at Circuit City. You know, that was back then, but I guess it's worse now.
I had one to work here.
What I think is going on is I think they have lower level people filter out the weirdos, and then they go, you pass the weirdo test, and then you go to a little bit higher person, and then you pass the second weirdo test, and then it gets like a little more serious, and then but like 5, you can't figure out in 5 rounds whether or not you want to hire somebody. What the hell's going on? Think about right now if you snapped your fingers and you ran your own business. It's Josh Enterprises. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Josh Enterprises. You're running your own company, and you want to hire some people. What on earth does it take you 5 interviews for? Why? Why would it take you that long?
I don't know.
I don't think it should.
I could do it in 2.
People are complaining about that, and they're also complaining about sometimes things don't go well for them. Here's this woman. Brace yourself. I think you're going to have a reaction to her. This woman took to the internet. This video is going viral this week. And she said that she got turned away from her interview at Aldi, which is a grocery store. She went to go do her interview. And she said they turned her away and said, interview over, interview canceled. We're not doing this. You'll never be hired here. Because she was 4 minutes late to the interview. And she got really upset about that. And I thought, like, if I'm scheduling an interview for somebody and
the
they're
job
4 minutes
market
late,
right now, if you are on time, you're late. Is what they always tell people.
Be early.
Kiss my ass. You're going to do an interview and then show up late for it? I'm going to think that you're going to be late for everything.
Unless you have a really good excuse.
Maybe, yeah. Like if you really have a great excuse, I'll consider it. But honestly, when I watch something like this, if you're 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 40 minutes, it doesn't matter if you're late at all for your interview for a job, that's your best impression that you're giving somebody. You're only going to be more late for everything after that.
However, what's the earliest you can be?
20 to 30.
I don't know if you're saying like if you're there hours
30 is
early.
way too early.
I don't think so.
Because like on the other
They're not
side
gonna
of
get
it,
mad at you for that though.
but it could seem a little annoyingly. I don't know.
Overeager.
There was somebody who showed up to an intern interview one time here.
Was it me?
It wasn't you.
Okay.
But the person was extremely early, and the person that was going to interview them was like, "Oh, I can't believe this person's already here. That is just annoying." I was like, "Oh gosh!"
Like I would never turn somebody away for that. I'd be like, "Oh, they're a little eager. Okay, that's interesting. That's fine." And I would be irritated at the 5 times interviews and all that stuff. But if you're 4 minutes late to an interview, don't get mad when they turn you around. Oh boy, did this lady get mad. Let's meet her. Let's see what happens.
So I'm standing in the rain because at 7:19 in the morning now, because I thought somebody was pulling up. Because I set to interview for Aldi. Matter of fact, let me show you. This stupid ass Aldi right here. That's where I was gonna go apply, right?
Yeah, geez, I wonder if they're just really, really regretting sending you away. When the video you make in the parking lot is full of so many F-bombs that we can barely understand what you're saying. I think they may have dodged a bullet here.
Also, if I were anywhere near that Aldi and I get this person walking in for an interview, I go, "Oh, I recognize you from the video where you shamed the person for being mad that you were late."
You're going to call my business a stupid-ass business, too?
Yeah, really. This might have been a good move on their part.
Well, I applied and got an interview. So I literally hop out the Uber, 4 minutes, like 4 minutes. It was 3 minutes, and by the time I got to the door, it was 4 minutes. So
4 minutes late.
Why in the I get in there? Whoa, I'm lying. I didn't even get to get in the Aldi. Some fat ass VeggieTale Corbin Blue hybrid told me I could not even be considered to interview because I was 4 minutes, 4 minutos late to interview.
All right, so she's upset. She's taking shots at everybody.
They're really missing out on a creative, bilingual candidate.
She's melting down because she's 4 minutes late and they turned her away. 4 minutes late is like 40 minutes late. There's no difference. I don't want to hear about you didn't get here in your Uber.
Oh, I think there's a difference. But as far as whether you're late or not, you're still late.
Yeah, you're late for the most important thing that you could be showing up for at a place, which is the interview. If you want to be late like 6 years later after having a really good track record, they're probably not going to fire you immediately. But they're not going to consider you any further if this is the way you're acting.
Wait, I was 1 minute late to this segment, and I'm still here.
For now.
For now, yeah. Hold on, segment's not over.
Yeah,
yet.
once your mic goes off.
Where in the world?
Dump that. So filthy, this lady. She's so filthy. She says, where in the world does it say that if you're late for your interview, that you would not be able to get the job and they would turn you away like this? It's not written down anywhere, lady.
I don't think
it's
you need to write it down.
It's in the Bible.
No, it should be common sense. It should be like, look, this is the way it works. When you have an interview scheduled, you show up at the interview on time. If you don't, then guess what? People are probably going to form some opinions of you. I am forming opinions already. If I see that somebody is late one time, I am already putting them on my radar. It's pinging when this happens. But if you are routinely late, I have found that dealing with people like this who are routinely late, they will never change their habits. They will never change what's going on. They will never go like, oh, you're right. Hold on. Let me set some alarm clocks differently. Let me change things. You know what people used to do back in the day? I saw some people talking about this, and younger people were so confused that this would be a thing. I knew people who were late, and they knew that they couldn't be, so they literally set every clock in their house 15 minutes ahead of time.
Yep.
They would take all of the clocks, the oven clock, the television clock. They would take every clock in their house, their alarm clock by the bed, and they would put it 15 minutes ahead of time.
Can you even do that on your phone?
I don't know. I don't know if you can do it with like an iPhone now.
Let's see.
There was no excuse. And if you showed up late for something, No call, no show. See you later. You're going to lose your job. It was a serious thing.
Oh, yeah, I
And
could
now-
do that. Set automatically is automatically triggered on your phone, like turned on, toggled. And if you turn it off, you can set the phone to a different time.
Set it 15 minutes ahead, and you're not going to be late for stuff anymore. That's the old way. That's what the old heads do. They set the clock 15 minutes ahead, and then they're not usually late for things.
Until
The
daylight
other
saving time
folks-
changes.
Like this lady, the other folks will do this in a way where you go, oh, it's not a big deal. So it turns into that division between people who are late all the time and people who care about other people's time and respect them and aren't late. And the people who tend to be late just constantly sweep for themselves with this. Like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not, God, work isn't everything. Turn them around. I like that Aldi did it execution style. They didn't even let her in the building.
Yeah, they let that fat Veggie Tales Corbin Blue hybrid do it.
the guy who turned her around, Veggie Tales or not, good. Turn her around, get her out of there. You dodged yourself a bullet. But I know it can be tough out there. So if you've been on the hunt for jobs, going through interviews in 2026, tell us. Give us the dirt. What's it like? Is it really bad? Is it being overstated how bad it is? You can send an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or you can send a dispatch, record yours over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. This person, Steve, emails the show and says, Sean, when is C-Lane going to have a song for flock cameras? He hasn't made one. Pick a Side has a song. Plain Stories have a song. You're doing flock camera stories every day. It's about time they have a song, says Steve. Sure. I don't know.
I'll see if the inspiration strikes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just happens, Steve. Like, you don't need to force it at all these angles, but.
The plane thing only came about because I was scheduling best of for a long holiday and realized how many of the different segments of our show was like this on an airplane, flight attendant this, airplane that, airport this. And I was like, we talk about air travel a whole bunch.
A lot of airplane-related stories. Not my fault. A lot of flock-related stories. In fact, we're going to get to one of those in just a bit here on the show. So stand by for that. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or send those dispatches in over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. All right, jury duty is on the way. I'll work this flock update into that, but leading jury duty will be the update on that Clancy case. And I hate to say this, but it's gotten even worse. This case has gotten even worse, and we have to
I thought
travel.
you were going to say, I hate to say this, but I think the dad did it.
I am not turning the corner on that, friend. But maybe you will. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney.
Okay, folks, headed into the power hour before you know it. Let's see here. Important piece of info for you. Pet fans, anybody use the service Move by Years? The dog food company Move by Years? I've not heard of them. I'm not familiar. Move by Years, which provides personalized meals in a subscription-based service. They sell dog food, and it's like all personalized for your dog, has recalled all of its fresh meals, every single one of them. So make note of this. If you are a dog owner, you got a dog, and you use Move by Years, stop. Stop immediately with the dog food that you have. They have recalled all of their fresh meals after reports that a recipe change may have caused some animals to develop an eye condition that can lead to sight loss. They're blinding dogs. The brand Years says owners should stop feeding its fresh meals to their dogs immediately, and also told them not to feed the meals to any other animal. Don't donate them, don't sell them, throw them away. Years. Years is the name of the company, I guess. It started out with Move by Years, but I think they mean a Move by Years, which provides personalized meals. Years. They said as of the early hours of Wednesday, they had 192 customers with potential but unverified eye issues. So that's quite a bit out of their 40,000 customers. I had never heard of this before. Actually, I'll work that into jury duty because that could be important for people listening. I tried the farmer's dog food, costly AF. Well, if you're using this stuff, stop. Years dog food. If you're using it, stop. Stop. I guess there's something about the change in their ingredients and the food that they were using that causes dogs to get a dry eye syndrome. And I did not know this, but if dogs get a dry eye syndrome, they can lose their eyesight completely. Like it's fundamental to the dog that their eyes stay sort of lubricated. Crazy. So make sure you tell other people about this too. Years dog food. All right, we have to work that into jury duty. Let me see. Let me get this video up. Josh had sent this earlier. Let me make sure they don't curse. Okay. All right. This video I'm about to show you is wild. So we got that coming up. The Tupac murder case, some interesting updates. And then we'll segue into the final hour of the show. Stand by. I got an unban request for you. You guys know you decide. An unban request for somebody who's been banned. We'll get to that in the next break. Remind me, okay? Power to the people. You are in charge of whether or not people get unbanned. I'll bring the case to you. Don't say unban yet. You don't know who it is. You don't know who it is. And it's not that guy from earlier on YouTube. Let me get a screenshot of this. Don't forget, when something's a visual on the show, we put it on See It Now so you can see it whenever you like. Now even. This video is bananas. You guys, by the way, would or would not, they just announced BuzzBalls Pop-Tart flavored cocktails, frosted s'mores, and frosted brown sugar cinnamon buzz balls. Gross!
Teachers give so much. Now it's our turn to give back. Nominate a teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit headquarterhyundai.com.
Send us a dispatch and join the ranks of the great 5 percenters. It's the
Give you an update on the Tupac case, which is a wild one. I'll explain. If you're not following along, I'll make it all make sense for you, I promise. And something for pet owners that you absolutely 100% need to pay attention to. This is actually a serious one that'll lead off jury duty. If you have a dog and you're feeding that dog food, I don't want you to miss out on what I'm about to say here on the show in just a moment. But I saw this a little earlier. Josh sent this over as well. Starting to get a bunch of attention now. The U.S. Marshals were at some sex offender's home, and they were serving a search warrant. I don't think this was on purpose, right? Like, this wasn't a tactic by the sex offender.
So kind of impressive.
So the U.S. Marshals, here they are. We're taking a look at this video. The U.S. Marshals are at this sex offender's house, and they're up on the second floor. It's a second floor platform where they're about to enter this guy's apartment, and it does not go as expected. Watch this. Oh my.
Hey, hold on.
The whole thing fell.
Hold on.
Yeah. Take a breath.
They're trying to
Good God.
pick up the pieces, like, to pull this off of them. For those of you listening, the entire, it's like it's hard to explain because it looks like a 2-story tall trailer that they live in, and there's a scaffolding type area.
It reminds me kind of how they do. It doesn't look like this is the case unless they added siding to it, but it looks like, you ever been to one of those places where everything's made up of shipping containers?
Yes. Yeah.
It
looks like
reminds
that.
me of what they would build around shipping containers if they stacked them up and made like a little shipping container like shopping center.
But this thing was not designed to hold this many people. And the federal officers that were trying to do this bust on this suspect's house, U.S. Marshals.
Good God.
They exceeded the weight limit on that walkway there.
Yeah, it took them down something fierce. You got to see this visual. I put it up on See It Now already. So go take a peek. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, hit the See It Now section, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about here, because that's a wild one.
The guy still got arrested?
They got a ladder.
They had to clean and dust everybody off and get back. And then, all right, now we're really busting.
You can't really get out of there, so.
It's a loophole?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate loophole. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
He gets the U.S. Marshals for false imprisonment.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, reach out to the attorney who's going to get you on that path to the big check you deserve. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Here you are, dog owners. I had to work this in. I do not use this type of dog food for Lady, our dog, but this is a big deal, and I wanted to make sure the information got out there. Have you guys even heard of this dog food company? It's called Years.
No.
Years. Years is the name of the company. And it says that the dog food has all been recalled, like all of it. They have 40,000 customers who subscribe to this fresh meal delivery thing at Years. That's the name of the company. Years sends you out dog food that's like fresh and ready to go for your dog.
So it's like stuff you have to keep refrigerated.
Yeah, yeah, and it's formulated just for your dog.
I hate to say this because you guys know how many refrigerators I have.
You ain't got time for that, huh?
We don't refrigerate any of Lexi's food.
Nah. No, but they've recalled all of them. Not like give it to a friend, not like put it away no, throw it away. Throw it away. Every single meal by this dog food brand, Years, has been fully recalled, and they got a bunch of phone calls. The phones were ringing off the hook. About 192 people said that their dogs were developing eye issues and blindness. They made a change to the formula of this dog food called Years, and the change caused the dogs who were eating this, a lot of them, in fact, a lot of them, it caused them to develop this dry eye issue that makes dogs blind.
Oh, so the dogs are just running around, crashing into stuff?
Yes, and they have no idea what's going on. They just thought they were eating some yummy food, and this is what happened. So they got all sorts of, I'm looking at the branding here. They got salmon and pollock, turkey thigh, all these different types.
Cauliflower bake?
Yeah. It's like a fancy fresh food that's supposed to be healthy and formulated for your dogs, but it's not great. Dry eye in dogs, known as keratoconjunctivitis sicca, KCS for short, that'll help me, occurs when a dog is unable to produce tears, making their eyes very sore. Bilateral means it affects both eyes. So this has been happening, and if your dog has this food and is rubbing at their eyes or squinting or being sensitive to light, they have they got issues, and there's a whole Facebook page of people already complaining about this. It's called Years Dry Eye Cases and Info. 2,600 members already, and these poor people, they're posting their little dogs. Oh. Their eyes are all messed up, and their eyes are all.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have this, or if you know anybody who uses Years for dog food, tell them to stop immediately. Do not feed that to your dog. Tell them if anything has happened to your dog to start becoming part of one of these groups, because there's probably a very big class action coming. I don't know what's happening here. I know from what our vet has told us, Courtney has talked to our vet and said, what kind of dog food should we feed our dog? What is the good stuff really that much better? And we have an awesome vet. He's like really, 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 really good. And he has said to us, if you're getting dog food in the United States from a store, like you're going to a PetSmart or you're going to a Publix, and you're going to a pet store, he says all of it is much, 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 much better than it was a couple of decades ago. There are much more regulations, and the stuff that they're sending you is much healthier than it used to be. So dog food, when you get it from the store and it's a brand name and stuff, our vet says is better than it used to be, and most of it is very much safe for your dog. But these are things where they're like making up meals and they're sending them over, and one little thing can go wrong.
Your dog doesn't need HelloFresh.
It doesn't, no. And that's kind of what this was, and so they've run into some problems here.
I'm looking here at their statement on their website, and it's years.com, which I guess kind of a good get. I don't know what other company would need the name Years, but they got it. And it says they're issuing a voluntary recall of all the fresh meals, excluding Chef's Collection. Chef's Collection still good.
Thank God.
They have identified buckwheat as the potential contributing factor because before they introduced the buckwheat, 0 confirmed cases of this. But they said that all of their ingredient specification reviews and formulations are in line with FEDIAF guidelines, and that's a European pet food industry standard. So I wonder if this is mostly an overseas kind of thing.
I don't want to say hopefully, but hopefully, right? At least most of us and most of the people hanging out with us right now on the show aren't having to deal with this. But if you have Years dog food, or you know anybody that does, tell them to avoid that for right now. Over to the Tupac Shakur case in 2026. Who would have thunk it? Unbelievable. And now there's action both inside and outside the courtroom. Inside, it's amazing. After all of these years, right, this happened in the 90s, they've now called up Suge Knight and all of the people who are suspected to be involved in this. The guy who's the main suspect, I told you about this case a little bit on Monday. The guy who's the main suspect is saying that he's like, I was exaggerating in my book and my podcast interviews where I admitted to doing this stuff. You can't take that as the truth. That was entertainment. They're saying, no, we think you were telling the truth. And every other person that was in that car is dead. Every other person that was in the car that shot at Tupac Shakur in the 90s and killed him in Vegas, all of them are dead. So he's the only one left. So the fireworks in the courtroom is none of the people they're calling to testify want to testify.
Well,
I didn't even know you could do this, but they brought up a Suge Knight associate and they put him on the stand and he goes, I'm not answering any questions. And they said, you're not going to answer any of my questions today? And he said, absolutely not. And they said, what are you talking about? You're in court. You need to answer these questions. And he goes, you better treat me as a hostile witness. And I'm like,
ballsy.
What isn't that usually a thing the prosecutor asks the judge for permission to treat as a hostile witness? He goes, you better treat me as a hostile witness. They're saying that they're openly pointing out the person who's accused, and the witnesses are saying, the people that they're calling to testify are saying, I don't want to put you in jail, man. I don't want to have anything to do with this. I don't want to testify. You better treat me as a hostile witness. I'm not giving you any information. Snitches get stitches. You get it, right? Like the whole thing.
Does Keefe D, I mean, I know they've said how old he is. He's in his 60s, right?
Yeah.
Keefe
right.
D, does he still have gang ties? Like,
I don't know.
If somebody were to snitch on him on the stand, do you think like the younger of the South Side Crips, I think it was, would come after them?
Well, they were dangerous in the 90s. They're very dangerous today still. These are gangs that still have a foothold on society, unfortunately. So possibly, but I think maybe more so it's just a culture of not wanting to snitch.
Right.
And they don't want to testify, and they're being brought into something they don't want to be part of, and it's a show. Meanwhile, outside the courtroom for the Tupac case, there's drama there as well. A shooting erupted outside the Las Vegas courthouse as Tupac's family left the trial for the slain rapper. There was somebody who was shooting at another person in the parking lot of the courthouse as all of this was going down. So it's been a dramatic start to all of this. Jurors are looking at the surveillance video. They're looking at all the footage from the MGM Grand. After all these years, people are being brought back in to testify about this.
It has got to be so annoying to have been ripped out of your household as a juror. You know, you have to leave your house with a really nice big screen TV and go and watch grainy ass gross footage from 1990s MGM Grand cameras that I'm sure is just potato quality.
To try to put gangsters in jail.
Yes.
So like, I didn't see nothing. I'm voting not guilty.
Speaking of Suge Knight, there was another story that TMZ posted today about him that is an old story. And it says Suge Knight told us a wild story. So unless Suge Knight just told them, but he told people like a year or two ago about after Tupac died, he paid a lot of money to get him cremated as soon as possible per his mother's request, and then met his mother in a hotel room where they took his ashes, rolled them into multiple blunts, and smoked Tupac.
Oh, seriously?
Well, yes. Except Suge
his
himself.
mom smoked him?
Yes. In fact, Suge himself told Tupac's mom he was on probation and was worried that smoking Tupac might somehow violate the probation. So he passed on that, but the rest of the people smoked Tupac, like rolled his ashes up into blunts.
It's crazy as hell to smoke somebody's ashes and roll it up into a blunt, but the idea that your mom would be a part of that is I don't even know how to digest this. I don't know what to do. I have the Clancy updates. We'll get to those when we come back. The Flock story as well. There's more on the Flock front and an interesting update there. We have a lot to push into the Power Hour. It's going to be an ultra mega supercharged Power Hour, so you better not miss any of it because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your 30 seconds.
Hey, everybody. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Sports fans, how do we feel about this? Roger Goodell is saying there is zero doubt the NFL will definitely have an international team soon. He says there is zero doubt the NFL wants to go international. And he says the NFL will have an international team soon. Who would we think that would be? What city outside of the United States of America do you think will have the first NFL football team? Toronto? London? I mean, London would be wild. Like, they would really want to bring in that European market. If they had a London team, it would suck for them to, all the traveling would be nuts. And then the teams have to go to London to play them. But that would bridge the ocean. That could be big. Lisbon, Portugal. Tongue Punch says in Canada, Germany, Munich. No way in Europe unless they have a whole separate league to expand international players. They're going to start somewhere. If we go with what we can look at already, like the MLB has what, 2 Canadian teams? Is that right? Is that correct? 2? I think there's 2 Canadian MLB teams. There could be more. Toronto and Montreal at least. Maybe another one? So Canada would be a shoo-in, and it wouldn't be that crazy to get the NFL team in Canada to be able to travel around and play. Mexico City. Imagine if it was a Mexico City team staffed by a bunch of Mexicans. That would be amazing. It would be hilarious. They've opened the last 2 seasons in Brazil. Well, let's be real. These players are probably going to have to be American, right? Like, they're not going to be Canadian players. The Canadian Football League, not the best source of talent, I wouldn't think. I don't know if there's enough Brazilians to get a team together. I would think they're still going to be American players probably. But what country will be the first outside of America to have a football team in the NFL? They're not going to be Mexicans. It would be hilarious if they were. It would be awesome if they were. It would be awesome if they did this. What if they had an Australian team, the Sydney Strikers or some shit? They have an Australian team, and they bring all Australian rules football players over and teach them American football. And that, like, those dudes are the Australian team. I might watch that. Australia's out of the question. It's pretty far. The NBA also has Toronto. That's true. Abraham says, we keep poaching kids from Australia for college football. If that's true, maybe there's a solid base of people. If they had a team like London or Australia or even Canada or Mexico in the NFL, they have to have at least one person from that country on the team. They have to. Otherwise, imagine it's a home game in Mexico City. Thank you, your girl D, for the gifted sub. Thank you. Appreciate that. That brings us to 27 on the day. If you let's take Mexico City because that's an easy one. If you have no Mexicans on that team, what are the Mexican fans going to think when they show up to a game? I don't think that works. Would need London, Paris, Munich, and Madrid teams for it to make sense. I'm sure that would be the dream. That's what they want. Because the NFL is so unbelievably jealous of FIFA. So jealous of FIFA. Because soccer is the international sport. And soccer has those televised globally matches with billions with a B of people watching. And I think it's the only thing out there that the NFL is actually jealous of. Need a full division? It's an 8-hour flight away? Sure. But I think the issue is it would be so hard to start off with enough people for that, like with a whole ass team. That would be too difficult. Oh no! We lost YouTube again in Mega Chat. What happened? Unbelievable. All right, the power hour is 1 minute away. YouTube has been removed from Mega Chat again. All right, we're coming back right now, everybody. Stand by for the power hour.
$8. It's delicious, it fills me up, and honestly, I'm proud of it. Big Mac meal. $8, only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. For a limited time only. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is the
to 007 Jim, the latest subscriber. You can join and unlock secret shows over on the website. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. I broke Mega Chat again. If you see YouTube fading out, just ignore it, gentlemen. I'll fix it for tomorrow, all right? I can't get too triggered and distracted by this. I just saw something coming in a second ago that I wanted to take a look at here. Let me see what's going on with this story, because I guess some 16-year-old girl has been charged with assault in Tennessee. And the video that started all of this is kind of crazy. Let me give you the details real quick, and we'll watch this. You can always watch the show, and I'll put the stuff that's visual up on See It Now for everybody else who's not watching. But the story says, a 16-year-old Tennessee girl has been charged with assault after running onto a football field in the middle of a game and tackling a middle school player. The girl ran onto the field following a scuffle between two players and tackled one of the middle schoolers. She's been hit with charges of disorderly conduct and assault and banned from school property. And I guess this shows the 16-year-old girl go onto the football field and tackle one of the players. All right, there they are. The kids are on the field playing football. Oh, she came in hot. She came in hot. She shoved the person down. Oh, he's like doubled over too. This kid that she
wrecked him.
Yeah, and then she just kind of walked away. Oh, the coaches are freaking out on the field. There's flags flying.
That was the laziest flag throw that ref just did.
Pandemonium. Is there any audio on this? No, there's not. There's no audio. But you just see her come in, and she clotheslines this kid who's a football player and starts hitting him. The coach gets in the way and backs her off. She's 16 years old, but she copped actual charges of assault.
Do we have a backstory here? Because I can see like a girl running on a football field if like she found out her boyfriend was stepping out or something like that. But she's 16 and he's in middle school.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure out here. Hold on. Tennessee, C-Line, look up Tennessee middle school football assault. That's all I have right now. I just saw this pop out, and the
the video. The top response is, has anyone tried unplugging the United States and plugging it back in? I don't know exactly what's going on that led to this, but Sealand will try to look up some more details here. Let me know if you find that.
All right.
Right now, let's kick it off. Let's do the Power Hour.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
I am fine not being a real man. I'm fine with not being a real man.
It's time for the Power Hour on the News Junkie.
I was about wearing a cup, okay? And I'd rather wear a cup than not. I think it's more important to protect yourself.
Okay, little baby.
I would rather wear a cup. Did you find the details, Sealand?
It just says the director of schools called the behavior unacceptable. She's banned.
Of course.
She's trespassed from all Franklin County school system properties for life. That's going to be odd if she ever grows up and has kids.
Yeah. Does it say why she did it, though?
No, I can't figure it out.
Yeah, very weird.
One of them called her a fan. She didn't look like a fan. Fan attacks Tennessee middle school football player during game.
Big fan.
Could you imagine if she was just such a big fan of the middle school football team that she got that emotionally invested and tackled one of the kids?
The only thing I could think of is did this person attack her little brother or something?
Maybe. That's what I would guess. I would guess it was a family member. Maybe this kid has been a pain in the ass and there's been something building over time. And she said, if he does that again, and then she ran on and tackled his ass. So that would be a good guess, I think, but we'll keep an eye on the story. Let's get to the update in the Patrick Clancy case, the Clancy family case. It's the darkest, weirdest case, but there's some stuff happening in the periphery of this that I think is fundamentally interesting and important, in fact. The case is about this mother. She claims that she had postpartum depression, was over-medicated. That caused her to act unlike herself. And she took the lives of her 3 children and then attempted to take her own life. The father was out getting some food and some medicine. And Patrick Clancy came home to see all of this had happened. And now the court trial is underway. And the sideshow here is that there's all these lunatics on TikTok just behaving like absolute animals. Baboons. They're behaving like animals, these people. And it's only getting worse. And I'm going to give you the updates on this in just a moment. But first, CNN has finally caught on to this story. And they're saying Patrick Clancy isn't a suspect in his children's deaths. Here's why. They're addressing this from the angle of people are wondering why this guy hasn't been charged. As opposed to why are there so many people suggesting because he's a Gemini and because he looks guilty or whatever that means that this guy had something to do with it. But here's CNN.
The attention of millions on social media. She's accused of murder in the deaths of her 3 children. Her defense says she's not responsible because she was in the midst of a psychotic episode stemming from postpartum mental illness. Armchair sleuths might be wondering how Patrick Clancy was almost immediately ruled out as a suspect in the deaths of his children. Well, let's break it all down.
Yeah, I mean,
by not being there?
Yeah, this isn't rocket science. He wasn't there. He came back to find what his wife had horribly done and then called the cops. It's not rocket science again, but it's whoa, why wasn't he considered a suspect? Because the mother admitted to all of it. She admitted that she did it. She's just saying she didn't do it in the right frame of mind, which is a totally fair defense for her. But now we've gone in a different direction.
First off, Lindsay Clancy has admitted to the killings of her children from the very start of this case. The defense is not arguing that Lindsay didn't kill the children, but rather whether she was criminally responsible because she was suffering from postpartum psychosis and extreme mental illness. Now, here's what Patrick testified happened the night of the killings. He left the house around 5:15 p.m. to go to the CVS and then a restaurant to pick up takeout. As he leaves the house, he sees his son Dawson eating a meal on the couch and not in the basement. That's where Dawson and his siblings' bodies were later found.
All right, and they also showed the text messages they were texting, and the entire time he was gone, she was not displaying that anything was wrong. Her texts were very normal. Hey, can you pick up some food? Smiley face. Yeah. There was nothing abnormal.
You're a good mama.
You're a good mama. Yeah, back and forth. He texted her, "You're a good mama," because of the stuff that she was saying.
When you were leaving the home on the night of January 24th, 2023, your observations of Lindsay and the children, do you recall that?
Yes.
And you had testified that you observed Dawson on the couch eating, I believe you said chicken nuggets and green beans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
At 5:24, he sends an email, and he was asked on the stand about where he was when he sent it.
And you were asked about it coming from the Surface Pro, but your testimony was that it could have come from your iPhone, correct?
Correct.
You were clearly out of the house at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Sorry, what time did you say I was at CVS?
So you walked in at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
At 5:32, surveillance footage and phone records put him at the CVS.
So he was there,
22
obviously.
minutes later, 5:54, he is seen picking up a takeout dinner. And at 6:09, just under an hour later, he returns home and says he found Lindsay unresponsive, lying on the ground outside of their house.
When you unlocked the door to your bedroom, did you go in?
Yeah.
And what did you see?
Okay, I'm not even going to play that. You can figure it out. But the father who has been through so much has now got all these crazies doing this stuff. Now, this is how bad this is getting. Okay? There's a new trend. All right? I don't know who would be so unhinged that they would ever, I'm not even kidding you, that they would ever participate in this. But one of the new trends, apparently, is that mothers are posting themselves when their kids are misbehaving and saying, "Same, Lindsay." Remember what the Lindsay Clancy woman did to her kids, and they're saying, "Same, Lindsay," as if they're getting the same emotions that they want to do. Like, if I was a father and my kid's mother was posting some stuff like this, I would want to get full custody, and I wouldn't want them to be spending any time with the children. If you're going to say "same, Lindsay," like you're feeling the same way as the parents who have done this stuff, I don't know how much I could play of this. Let me see.
I'm completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids.
It's the court audio.
I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money. And
See, and they show their kids.
I spend way too much. She wrote that, right? Correct. I'm terrified of counting.
They show their kids. They show themselves interacting with their kids.
Oh, so they're not doing this as a joke.
No, no. It's like it's "same Lindsay" is the trend that they're posting online, and it says, women are setting up their cameras, holding their own children, and crying while saying they're just like the woman who strangled their 3 kids. I don't know what that's about.
I mean, it's one thing to empathize with postpartum, but that's a weird thing to post.
Yet saying "same," like the woman who took her kids' lives. Ugh. And then the other thing is they're hanging out of their windows to prove that she couldn't possibly have jumped out of
videos of them
some
hanging
window
out the window to prove that Lindsay Clancy is innocent. This weekend, I've seen 2 different women hanging out of their own windows. The first woman was hanging out of her 2-story window.
Bro, what is going on in your life?
Prove anything?
Of course, it doesn't prove anything. I guess the idea is that she couldn't have jumped or something.
After putting blue dish soap on her wrist to show where the stain should have been if Lindsay opened it.
Yikes. So she was simulating blood, putting blue dish soap on her wrists, and then acting like she was jumping out of the window and saying where the blood would have been. Like, this is what has happened to some of the people who obsess with these cases on these platforms.
Could you imagine as a husband losing your wife, and when the medical examiner comes or the ambulance comes and you have to explain what happened here, they say, well, she was unfortunately recreating the Lindsay Clancy situation for her TikTok, and she did a better job than Lindsay Clancy did.
Case closed.
All of this for what? For a couple of pennies on TikTok? For some likes and some followers? To just absolutely disrespect yourself and your family, and if you have any kids, to disrespect them by getting involved in this stuff. It's so disturbing. So disturbing. Is this another one here? This is a female TikToker taking a break from work to film her response. Josh, stay by the dump button because I don't know if this lady's going to curse or not. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
It's okay.
If your children were downstairs in a 2-story house and you were upstairs on the 2nd story, and there was a fire in your home of which prevented you from being able to exit your bedroom door, go down the stairs and get the children, and you had no other choice and you were completely stuck on that second floor in your bedroom.
Or she's at work in her work uniform in the bathroom recording this message about this case. This has taken over some of these people's lives.
Well, what's her take on it?
She's saying that she couldn't have done it.
Try to jump out the window to go save those kids because that's the only way to get down there to them, right? Fight or flight kicks in, you're going to get out that window, right? What if Mr. Pat decided to drug her earlier in the evening, we'll say 4:30. By 5 o'clock, she started getting drowsy. Okay. He tells her, go upstairs, go take a rest. When she gets upstairs, she finally passes out, lays in the bed. A few minutes later, he comes upstairs. She looks knocked out. At that point, he injures her on the wrists and on the neck. He thinks she's dead, probably because of blood loss.
Oh, the only smart thing about this video is that you turned around your name tag.
Yeah, your name tag is not showing. Otherwise, my God, you psychopathic weirdo.
Blood, guess what? They're either getting faint, queasy. He thinks she's done for. So he leaves, barricades the door, goes and does what he does, kills those kids, goes on his little excursions to make it look like he did not do anything.
Okay, I'm just going to stop there.
In so little time.
Imagine just saying things like this. Is this the point that we're at? Just saying things like this. You guys, it's not a video game. It is not fiction. This is a real world thing. This happened to this guy. So many people who are engaging in this stuff are either forgetting or incapable of keeping up with the simple fact that this is a real person, real human beings that were involved in this case. And you're just like, well, and in my story, the characters did this and this and that. I compared it to Clue the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like somebody's fan fictioning their way through these stories, and you completely remove the human element. How would you feel if you were this guy and you've lost all of the things that this person has lost? Have you no shame? Have you no decency that you behave like this? And not only behave like this in public? You're posting this online? Oh my God. I mean, like these kind of things just seem to be getting worse and worse and worse. And I mean, even TMZ is kind of feeding into it because there's a lot of their audience that's been following this. Lindsay Clancy murder trial. Ex-husband Patrick's tense outing with his new wife. And they show him during this trial with his wife. And it's like, it looked like something was going wrong in their communications. Here's Lindsay Clancy's ex-husband, Patrick Clancy, looking stressed in New York City with his new wife, Rachel Dennis, while Lindsay faces murder charges in Massachusetts, where she's accused of killing their 3 kids. The pair was seen in an apartment in Manhattan around 8 p.m. while her murder trial was on break. They spent 30 minutes on and off their phones, appearing visibly distressed as they talked among themselves. Well, I wonder why they would be distressed. Boy, I wonder what kind of things would be going on that might be distressing. Patrick was seen taking phone calls and pacing in circles while using his phone. At one point, he reportedly sat with his feet on the table and wiggled his toes.
Oh,
whoa.
He wiggled his
Breaking.
toes. No, I can't. I don't. No way. He wiggled his toes, everybody. He wiggled his toes. Holy cow. Bootsy says, good God, leave this guy alone. It's just so strange that people will behave like this. And I mean, I'm not for cancel culture and going after people, but there needs to be some sort of, I don't know, way to right the ship when people behave like this socially. This isn't about a political opinion. This is disgusting behavior. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that support this and like this and know about this. And it's getting more and more attention as the days go by. All right, I got to get the Flock story worked in here, more election stuff, a bunch of things that we have that's coming up in just a bit. In fact, that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram.
Stand by. Quick live read, everybody. Quick live read. All right. Incoming top-notch live read.
There's a crash on the ramp from 408 westbound to Mills Avenue. The off-ramp's partially locked there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Well, I don't need to tell you this if you're outside. It is the heat of the day right now. 94 degrees. The only thing that you ask for, and I think this is the most reasonable thing to ask for you could ever think of, is that when you go home and you go back into the peace and solidarity of your house, that the air conditioning is working the way that you would expect, okay? And I think you deserve that and so much more. If it's not, it's time to call Mills Air. They are going to make sure your AC works perfectly every single time. Is it frozen up? Call Mills Air. Is it banging around and making noise? Call Mills Air. Is it not working in one room or two rooms or who knows? I want you to call Mills Air. They are a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. They can get you huge rebates if you need a new Carrier unit. And boy, can that save you on your power bill? 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
All right, we're back. Top notch, wasn't it? I told you. I promised it. Mega Chat is slimmed down. We worked YouTube back out of it. I think it's because I was polling YouTube's API a little bit too much, but that's fine. That's a fine. Hey, YouTubers, if you have been entertained, enjoyed, just even slightly liked any of the show today, can you take a moment and just hit that like button down there? It doesn't take much from you, and it is a huge help. Be part of the army of viewers of the show that hits that like button every single day. Go do it right now. Big thanks for all the generosity. Let's see if we can get a few more numbers on the board. Mega Chat only works when the stream gets 300 likes. Okay. We ain't never going to have Mega Chat then. We got a little bit of time to put some more numbers on the board. TMZ are really full of soulless animals. I think that TMZ is playing to their audience. I think TMZ's audience is probably more female than male. I think there's a particular piece of that female 25 to 54 demographic that likes true crime stories and that goes deep on all those TikTok videos where somebody's pointing on a green screen. Like, watch this moment. Wait, and right at that point, it was like that content on TikTok. It's terrible, but they love it. And then they completely detach themselves from reality. They think they're playing a video game. I mean, I'm sweeping for them a little bit, but thank you, Klingon, for 33 months. Oh, the unban request. Okay, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Excellent work. All right, I got an unban request here. Chat, as per usual, you are the thumbs up or thumbs down. If anybody gets banned on any platform, you can always send in an unban request, and I will bring it to the audience and let you vote. Hi, Sean. My account is Hailfire76. And in the past, you and I have butted heads in chat, but I respect your opinion. I have listened to the show since the beginning. I said the president was a pedophile, and my IP address got banned. I'm not sure why. I was not that fig person on YouTube. Maybe there was some miscommunication. I was not even given a reason. Please reinstate me or tell me how saying that one response validates a ban, says Hailfire. What do we think? Hailfire made some comment about pedophile or something on TNJ chat. I think it just kind of happened to be in line with the other weird person doing that on YouTube that got banned. He's made his case. You know what you know. I'm going to weigh TNJ chat people higher in my response here because it's your platform, so that's how this will go. TNJ chat people will have more weight in your votes. But what do we say? Do we keep him banned or do we unban him? If you want him unbanned, now's the time to put it. If you think he should stay banned, put stay banned. Unban unless it was actually something worse or different. That's all the context I have. So there might be more to it. Easy unban. We got all unbanned so far. Stay banned. It wasn't just one time he said it. Trump lives rent-free in his head and he makes sure we know. That's a TNJ chat message that's got a little more weight. Stay banned. He's upset. Ban him for 25 more days so he can cool off. He needs to gift 100 subs to be unbanned? Nice. What a strategy. Can we mute him for 24 hours? That sounds good to me. It's all he talks about every day. Well, maybe we can just realign him a little bit. All right, here we go. Well, we'll talk about it a little more in a second.
What? It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Today is Mo Better with Josh Fowler, courtesy of Just Call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Radio.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This.
Get to before the end of the show, so we're going to have to pack it in a little bit here. What did I promise? I promised this flock story. Let's see what we got there. I have updates on a lot of stuff. So let's work in some updates right now. The latest flock story I saw was another police officer that's in trouble and could be facing dismissal for misusing data from these flock cameras. That does not seem to be a super isolated event. We've heard many stories in the past couple of weeks about police officers misusing this data.
I'm curious why that's been so rampant when they already had the problem with the David system.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And so
it's not exactly new because do you remember what the David system stands for?
Give me 1 second and I'll pull it up.
We talked about this before because there were officers that were utilizing this system in their car called DAVID.
Driver and Vehicle Information Database.
That kind of predated the flock system and wasn't quite as robust. I think it had photographs, charging history, criminal history,
addresses.
It
had plenty of information. Sometimes more than you could get from simply Facebook if you have your if you don't have your account locked down, or if you just have an account. Some of these people that are on the David system don't even touch Facebook at all. Some of them do, but they hide specific information about themselves, about their birthdays, unless you're friends or friends of friends or something like that. The thing with the David system was that they just had access to all of it and could look people up willy-nilly.
Yeah,
and
they
watched
did
it happen.
Yeah, and they did. And now they've been doing this with the flock cameras. Here's the latest from Good Morning America.
This morning, those controversial license plate tracking cameras made by Flock back in the spotlight. A Massachusetts police officer on leave at risk of losing his job and possibly facing criminal charges for allegedly abusing the technology. The Stowe Police Department says Officer Jason Rogers improperly accessed information about someone he knows 5 different times in the Flock database. The highly scrutinized Flock cameras automatically photograph every passing vehicle into a database that officers can search without a warrant.
Can you imagine how, first of all, yes, but how big must this database be? These cameras are rolling. Didn't we say there were hundreds of thousands of flock cameras now?
Let's see.
That one database had over 6 figures of them, like 100,000 plus. All of them are filming all day long, sometimes multiple cameras in multiple directions. And they are storing all of this information of your license plate, all that stuff.
Estimated network of more than 120,000 automated license plate reader cameras across 49 U.S. states.
So there's a lot of them. That's a lot of data every single day that these things are churning through. And then they can search through it and find out all this stuff.
Now brewing in one Ohio community over the technology. A county commissioner calling for the Lucas County Sheriff's Department to pause its use of flock cameras until an audit can determine what legal authority officers are using to access the data and how to protect residents from mass surveillance.
This is mass surveillance at scale.
But the sheriff defiant, calling the technology a game changer.
All right, here's the deal. Law enforcement and people related to law enforcement continue to back flock cameras. They say they save lives. I'm not as on board with this as I am some other technologies. I'm on board when it comes to, I don't know if you guys have heard of ShotSpotter, but I think ShotSpotter should be in every neighborhood with a violence issue. I think, unbelievably, a bunch of social activists have decided that ShotSpotter is somehow racist and taken away something that I think elevates the safety for a lot of people in dangerous neighborhoods. And ShotSpotter is this technology that has no cameras at all. They simply put one in each neighborhood. And where there is a gunshot that goes off, it is a gunshot detection device. It detects a gunshot noise and it deploys a call to the police and says where the location was, where the gunshot rang out. And then they send the police over there to investigate. And it's helped out in a lot of these neighborhoods. But then they decided, oh, it's racist or whatever stupid nonsense reaction you get out of these things. And I saw stories after that. There was a story where in one neighborhood, they removed the ShotSpotter technology that detected these gunshots. And then some guy got shot and no one noticed for 48 hours. The guy was shot lying on the ground and no one even noticed that this guy was shot in this neighborhood.
Or no one reported it.
Or no one reported it, exactly. Very fair. No one reported it in this neighborhood. It's like this stuff.
I can't tell which
valuable.
is worse.
Yeah, this stuff is valuable, and I think it's great, and I think we need more of it. However, the flock thing is not the same. And the biggest problem that people have is it's grabbing information on you when you're not even suspected of doing anything. It's grabbing information about you and your movements when you're not a suspect in any sort of case. And at the very least, if all these law enforcement people want to say that this is necessary, then you need to come up with a plan immediately so we can tell exactly what law enforcement is doing, exactly who they're looking into, so it is easy with a click for you to see how many times they've looked up your information and what officers have looked up your information. And that is the only thing that will put a stop to them abusing these systems. They're curious, dramatic people, just like so many other people are. And so they go into the system and they're weirdos and they're stalking hot women and, you know, guys that they're into or the ex-wives of their husbands. And they're doing all this because it's at their fingertips. We need to make sure, one, we know exactly what they're doing, when they're doing. Two, it's absolutely easy for everybody to see if they have been searched or look up the behaviors of these officers. And we need all of that to be public and available. If we can keep oversight on this, that's one thing. But no oversight, a massive growing database of information, and surveilling you when you haven't done anything wrong is a recipe for what we have now, which is people cutting down flock cameras, spraying them with like foam spray and destroying the cameras, and generally raging against them. Which I actually believe, my theory on this is that it's not even so much about the flock cameras. It's just about people have finally had it with their surveillance society. Everybody's watching them everywhere, and all of their information is available in all these databases, and so they're just kind of lashing out. But they need to do something about this. You can't just expect people to go, well, the law enforcement guy said that it's a very valuable tool and we should all just shut up. No, kiss my ass. We shouldn't all just shut up. No, that's not the way this works. Your officers keep abusing this. You need to put something in place immediately to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. It's pretty simple, or at least it should be.
You already have the kind of route out there with what they've done with the David system. They figured out people were abusing the David system. There's still people abusing the David system.
Yeah.
They just had a recent story about it when it was the Fish and Wildlife Commission. And they just take that same rules that they established for the David system and apply them to the flock system. And I think we could find like a balance there.
I would think so.
Or put all that information, behind warrants. Have a judge have to sign a warrant for you to get flock information. Now, I think that puts an extra step in the way, and I think the argument against what I just said would be like, hey, if we're trying to find somebody who's been kidnapped and their life is gravely in danger, having to rush to get a warrant from a judge or an emergency warrant, might elongate that process. But it's kind of like we got to find something here.
Here's my too bad on that, Celia. My too bad is you can't always use emergency situations to justify people giving up more of their privacy and in the name of security. And that's what they've done to us since 9/11, in my very, very not so humble opinion. I think since 9/11, the trade-off has been pretty insane. Like, our security is one thing, but our privacy has eroded so much that people are tired of this crap. And they've had enough. And I think they have every legitimate right to feel that way. I think you're on the right track with just put it behind a warrant. I want people to solve crimes. I want the bad guys to get locked up. I want criminals off the street. I want neighborhoods to be safe. If it's behind a warrant, like you're saying, then the information is stored somewhere securely. And when they need it and they're going after somebody specific for a specific reason and not just on a fishing expedition, then they can do that. That I think is the best bet. I think that makes the most sense. I think you're right about the warrant thing. But you're probably also right, unfortunately, about their response to it. Real quick, do we have time or what did he get? Here's Sophie Cunningham responding to her being booed for some of this recent WNBA drama. Here we go.
Really?
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Especially for the talk. It was because of the...
Oh, the reporter said you were booed tonight? And she's like, really? She was pretending like she didn't know it.
We got booed a little bit tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Especially for the talk. It was because of the ketchup chips.
You know what? Yeah. I like where your mind's at on that. Maybe I should try. I heard I was supposed to try a different brand. So, but you know what? I will tell you, I want to shout out the Tempo crowd in the city. I think we've had so much fun. It's my first time being in Canada. It's a lot of our first times being in Canada. But the crowd was absolutely amazing. And, I think that's what sports is all about. You're going to get boos, you're going to get cheers. But just the fact that they're so passionate, they're loud, and they're putting on for the city, I think it's amazing. So shout out to you guys for coming out and supporting.
Shout out, she said, just for the record. Sounded a little different there. I appreciate that. I think that's good. She's saying, look, they booed me at this game. Booing is part of sports. You like and you dislike certain players. I'm not going to whine about it and make myself into a big giant victim. She's saying, hey, look, you want to boo me? That's your thing. You could do that. This is all about getting people into the sport. So she continues to make pretty smart moves, I think, at least from my determination. Quick break. When we come back, we'll do the final dispatches, including an update on that Philadelphia scare mask story thing. I got an update. We'll do that. We'll do the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Music Weekends, a classic alternative. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Wednesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35.
All right, folks, welcome behind the scenes. Thank you for hanging out today. I'm sorry about what happened with YouTube. Our final judgment appears to be, I'm gonna state this and you guys tell me if you agree. All right? Hang on. I'm getting the Today I Learned ready. On this unbanned request from Hailfire, here's where I feel like we should be. I don't know exactly what happened. It's hard to judge based on that. But one of the mods made the move to ban him, which I'm sure they did not do for no reason, and I trust the mods and love them. Thank you to the mods on all the platforms for helping keep chat free of lunatics and a great space for people to hang out. But I think the idea of saying, hey, let's do a 24-hour timeout here. Tomorrow, pop back in chat. Maybe we don't see that behavior replicated, and then you could continue being part of the show and the community. I think a 24-hour mute basically is the right decision in this case. Agree or disagree on the way out, okay? Send me an email if there's more. Yes, please. I'll consult the moderation team and ask about that. But unless I'm swayed by that, I think it should be a 24-hour mute. Got one disagree. By the way, you guys can say agree or disagree about ban decisions. I don't care. My idea is that the fair thing is to say 24 hours to chill out, bring you back on board, and we'll be okay. All right, hang on. I did print that, right? Chat, best ZZ Top song to end on. Hey, not for nothing, but a little weird. I tried to update MeTube after the show because, it needs to be updated a lot when things change to get files. And it, for some reason, it wouldn't update. It's never done that before. It's very weird. I don't know if maybe I need to update Unraid to be able to update it now. Maybe there was an update that was pushed that needs me to update Unraid. No? I didn't try it for today's, but it was not working yesterday. Every previous time I updated it and it worked immediately afterwards. Okay, let me just get this segged up. All right, so that's where I'm at. I think it should be a 24-hour mute. I do want to hear from the mods, so email me whatever other information I need to know. I will absolutely take a look at that and consider it. I'm trying to be fair. Yeah. I agree with what Bootsy says too. Like, if you guys disagree on political stuff, it's not like some anti-free speech censorship thing to be like, hey, don't make it, as Bootsy said, your whole personality. Just constantly, every comment is talking about this shit. This show is about all sorts of stuff, but if you're just constantly doing that kind of hyper-political nonsense and nitpicking, no good. I can hear Courtney listening to the show. I don't know why she's listening, but she is. Oh, she printed out a recipe for crispy baked chicken thighs. Sorry. Told you. Okay, there we go. Oh, all right. Today I learned is all set. A couple of things to fix after the show. I'm going to mention everybody who gifted. Thank you, Cool Fun Hippie Chick, by the way, for the 3 gifted subscriptions right at the end. Huge. Thank you for that support. All right, tomorrow I'll fix the rest of these issues. We'll get everything buttoned up. And I promise you, grade A show tomorrow. It's been a rocky week. I'm really doing my best over here. It's been so many things thrown at me. Stay gold. I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
State, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit headquarterhyundai.com. Helping to spread awareness, or whatever the new buzz term is. We're not actually doing it.
And today, learn to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. It's all coming up a bit here on the show. A quick update on the story yesterday about that masked Chucky-like person, they called it, in Philadelphia. That some stories said sounded like a woman, but I guess it was a dude that they were looking for. And he was asking people, are you ready to die? Philadelphia police have received a number of tips, and they're still trying to identify this masked man who is terrorizing people
or woman
in Philadelphia. Man or woman. They believe the person is around 20 years old. They said at least one point in time, the person in the mask implied they had a weapon, but they have not seen a weapon just yet. The suspect is facing charges including terroristic threats, harassment, simple assault, and intimidation. Lots of tips coming in about that story we talked about yesterday. A lot of this other stuff is going to have to hold over. I have so many good dispatches. Can we play one? Do we have time for one or no?
Quick, yeah, sure.
All right, fast. Here we go.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
I only can. All right? I don't have time to play any more than that. Let me refresh and get this in. We got a bunch of new ones here. Here we go. This is... should I get a embarrassing one, or here's a Flock one? Here's not Bob Sacamano talking about Flock.
Hey, News Junkie crew.
Hey,
so
Bob.
just a thought.
Not Bob.
Really, what can come out of this is we really can't sue the police departments anymore because of qualified immunity and all this other stuff that protects them. So I think what people need to start doing is start going after Flock personally for collecting this data and then selling it to law enforcement. Basically, that's just the easiest way to do it. You know, if you want to make an example out of Flock and basically bankrupt them because they're the ones doing this.
I don't know if they're breaking the law, though.
No, I don't know if they are. In fact, they're working with law enforcement.
Good day, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate your dispatch.
No, but I don't know how much they're violating
the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Because that's the big question, right? That's
Like,
what people get so upset about.
Yeah, if I, as a person, want to sit on the corner, I've said this before, and write down every license plate number that drives by,
you should do it.
I have not broken the law.
See Flock.
Now, they're nobody wants to see Flock.
The only manual Flock camera.
Flock of sea lanes.
Just
there's been plenty before. These old people with nothing to do in these neighborhoods.
We got to get out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Flock I Learned is great.
Did you just write that down for
I did.
so
That's
everybody
good
who
job.
download the podcast today has to wait that long to figure out what the name of the episode means? I like
Today I
that.
Learned this band right here. ZZ Top. That's right. ZZ Top. The guy without the beard died, right?
His name is Beard.
After ZZ Top's exhausting first major tour, Today I Learned the band went on a long hiatus to recover. When they finally got back together after relaxing, they saw that they had grown long, thick beards, and it became a big part of the band after that. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over